What we are doing is, the more you look, the less you see. What we're going to do today is to continue the exposition from where we stopped yesterday without wasting of time. Some people say, I have been reading some messages on social media. I have been reading some messages where some people are blabbing, those who have left behind. I want you to understand, nobody can scare us. Nobody can threaten us. Nobody can come in between our freedom. We are going to fight this particular freedom of Biafra with a fizzy. A fizzy. You know, whenever we do this, know that now, yes, yeah. The more you look, the less you see. Omu abu tipa. Itiaka akagabajie. We have destroyed the criminals in IPOB. We have destroyed the criminals in IPOB. Going forward, we will be issuing statement in the name of IPOB, Indigenous People of Biafra, going forward. If you want to name us autopilot, you are free. If you want to continue to recognize us as autopilot, you are free. But officially, we are Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB. I want you to understand that some people are really trying to get our attention, okay? Some people are trying to get our attention. The date is already 14th here. So for those of you saying I should change date, that is why it is from 13th. Oh, sorry, from 13th to 14th. One moment. You will be addressing us officially as the IPOB, Indigenous People of Biafra. If you wish, you will add autopilot. It is no longer necessary. Am I clear? Indigenous People of Biafra. We are the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB. If you like, you add it autopilot. You know, some people say that I want you to understand that they are no longer, you know, we chase these criminals away as far back as February 28, 2022. February 28. Every autopilot today is hereby declared Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB. Officially. Use it anywhere, use it anyhow, and let nobody tell you that you are autopilot. Okay? Autopilot is going to be a nickname we will be answering and all that. Your name is IPOB. You are Indigenous People of Biafra. Tell anybody who feel threatened by this declaration today to go to anywhere and challenge us. Having said that, like you know, I don't want to dwell in to start recognizing inconsequential people. Now you can now believe. You are now going to your eyes has cleared now that they are not in control of anything. Finally, you are now, you can see the picture very clear. They are not in control of anything in Biafra land. Nobody listening to them. ESN is intact under Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The reason we are not going to be taking order from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is that whatever we do, he will not be held responsible, as the Biafra liberation have started. So I want you to understand that we are the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB. If you want, you add autopilot. From today, I want you to understand, there is something I want to say today. It is a pity. It is a pity that the relative of our leader chose the wrong path. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart that Canon Takano, Emmanuel Kano, and all the relative of our leader, even if whatever they have done, it breaks my heart, they didn't see this day coming. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart that they were deceived. It breaks my heart that Canon Takano, apart from the fact that he knew our leader was kidnapped and he concealed it, he was deceived. It breaks my heart that the siblings of our leader didn't see today. They didn't see how genuine Simon Ekpa is. They didn't see the loyalty of Simon Ekpa to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It breaks my heart. And they went over the red line, crossed it. They used them to do all manner of things against me. After they have succeeded in using them against me, today they are fighting them. They are fighting the siblings of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It's heartbreaking. One thing about me is that I have human heart. It breaks my heart that Canon Takano didn't see today. Breaks my heart that Emmanuel Kano didn't see today. It breaks my heart that all those ones in Germany could not see today. And they deceived them to fight the person that could have salvaged their image if they were pure, if their hands were clean. It breaks my heart. But that is not why I'm here. This comment I have made today, let whoever that I have mentioned here go and check himself. It breaks my heart. Because I remember when I was talking with Canon Takano. I remember when the first message came from our leader. I remember how Canon Takano was searching for my number everywhere. I remember how Canon Takano talked with me. At the end of the day, he was deceived. I remember how Emmanuel Kano contacted me. At the end of the day, he was deceived. Because they are not pure. They were looking for something else than following the legacy of their own brother. It pains me. I am telling you, it pains me. Because if these people have consulted Oracle, all those native doctors they are going to, if they have actually consulted native doctors and Oracle to ask about Simon Ekpa, they wouldn't have gone that wrong way. But they chose, I don't know what they choose. Today, they are fighting each other. All of them. If you ask Canon Takano now, what did Simon Ekpa do to you? He will have nothing to say. There is nothing. Because the highest thing Canon Takano will say is that my platform was used. There is nothing Canon Takano will say today that this is what Simon Ekpa have done to him. The same thing goes to Emmanuel Kano. If you ask him today, what has Simon Ekpa done to you? He will say nothing, because there is nothing, absolutely nothing. The highest thing they will say is that his platform, your platform were used. I am not saying this for them to come to me. No. But I am saying this so that other people watching that have observed this whole struggle, see the kidnap of our leader, will know what has gone wrong. It breaks my heart that the family could not know who is their enemy and who is not their enemy. Today, it is clear. Continue for the last 1 year, for the past 1 year, they continue to tell you Simon Ekpa is not a member of IPOB. For the past 1 year, they tell you Nigeria government pays Simon Ekpa money. The same people telling you that Nigeria government pays Simon Ekpa money is calling Nigeria government to hold Simon Ekpa responsible. They are calling the international community to hold Simon Ekpa responsible. The exact thing Simon Ekpa is doing today is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have done. That is the reason why they sold him in Kenya. They collected money and so everything you see them accusing somebody is what they have done. So today, the way Simon Ekpa is going for this Biafra struggle, to them, Simon Ekpa is committing crime. That is the exact thing they have done to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They pretend to be working with him, and they sold him in Kenya. They told the Nigeria government that he was in Kenya. And as that is not enough, those who are not well sound in their mind has become victim of conspiracy. People like Canon Takano has become the victim of conspiracy. And there is nothing you can do about it. For him to have said, don't tell, for him to have told the secretary, do not tell anybody, means he has become a victim of the conspiracy. Whether his hand is clean or not, it doesn't matter. Because that particular opinion is questionable. Even though he will be saying by, that he did it because he don't want people to know. That is not reasonable enough. They chose their enemy. They chose to work with the enemy of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And when you listen to that one in Germany, attacking me, blackmailing me, Simon Ekpa want to hijack Mazi Nnamdi Kanu IPOB. Simon Ekpa want to take over Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Simon Ekpa plan coup. Look at them today. Upon all the coup Simon Ekpa, according to him, is planning. Look at what they have done to them. And these are the people who come on social media to tell you they are prophets. They see tomorrow, they see next tomorrow, they see next year. They couldn't see this one coming. But they see everything. They prophesy Donald Trump is going to be the president of America. They couldn't see Bibia, Doctor Nagondozo, they couldn't see what these criminals have done. First of all, they embrace them. Oh, you are the brother of our leader. And they have used you to blackmail Simon Ekpa. After they use you to blackmail Simon Ekpa, now you are not with them. They have, after that coup, you have been saying, oh, they are planning coup against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The coup have actually happened. The only good thing is that, the good news is that the struggle and the IPOB of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is intact under autopilot, as you may call them. Under autopilot. This is where the structure of and the struggle of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is intact. We have the entire Eastern Security Network under autopilot Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is the fact. So this cry, you see them crying today, is a confirmation that they have nothing to offer. Now they are telling you, if Simon Ekpa commits crime, holding him responsible, because they don't have anybody again. They know the capacity. They know what we can do now. They know our strength militarily. They know. They know what we can do. They know we control the entire Biafra. They know every armed group in Biafra is under our control. And they have seen that the threat is real. So they are raising alarm. And they will tell you tomorrow, tell us the ESN Simon Ekpa is in charge. Tell us the ESN Simon Ekpa is controlling. They will organize. You know, I told you people yesterday, when I was exposing that criminal as he ordered the killing of Ikonso family, I told you people that you are going to see how they will come out. They went under their criminal anonymous that have actually destroyed their fraudulent businesses. They went and started writing, oh, Simon Ekpa will be deported. Simon Ekpa will be arrested. Jesus Christ. Chai! Itiborebo. Illiteracy is a disease. Simon Ekpa will be deported. We have provided evidence to Finland. We have provided evidence. I don't know how long we are going to write Finland. You don't know that Nigeria have embassy. Are you more effective? Are you more active than the Nigeria embassy that is in Finland and supervising Finland? You are the one now working the work of embassy, Nigeria embassy. Let the Nigeria embassy come to Finland and arrest Simon Ekpa. And the illiterate, all these illiterates, they buy a recharge card for them and they share them. And say, oh, start sharing it. Start sharing it. Share it. They want to arrest Simon Ekpa. They want to deport Simon Ekpa. Hey! And they are sharing it. They are sharing it. We have supplied evidences of Simon Ekpa. We have supplied evidences of. Are you the embassy? Give your, in fact, send money to Nigeria embassy. Let them work to arrest Simon Ekpa. If Simon Ekpa is committing crime, okay? You don't know that embassy have a job to do. Let them come to Finland and carry Simon Ekpa. I told you people, I will be your last bus stop. Next year, since you people don't want to give us Biafra by referendum, we will declare war and declare Biafra. I am telling you today, go and mark it. After that, you can write to UN, you can write to America, you can write to Israel, you can write to Germany, you can write to any place you want. Let them come and arrest Simon Ekpa. For the past 1 year, these criminals have been saying very soon, very soon, very soon, very soon. How long is your soon? Is it when after you sleep and wake up in Biafra, you are going to, your soon is going to come? When is that soon coming? For the past 1 year, very soon they want to expose Simon Ekpa. How long is your very soon? Is your very soon going to take you another 2 years? Every day, very soon, very soon, very soon. The only thing they want to achieve is to deceive some people who cannot think by themselves. They are calling international community. Even this Kanu Takano, well, went as far as writing, tagging Finland, tagging UN. Simon Ekpa killed FRCN, whatever, road safety officers. Oh, it is Simon Ekpa boys. Every crime in Biafra, it is Simon Ekpa boys. Have you seen me responding to them? I don't respond to fools. I don't respond to idiots. That is to show you that you are nobody. You are nobody. If Simon Ekpa is the one that is doing all these things, why are you not respecting me? Is it easy? If Simon Ekpa is the one that is creating all the chaos in Nigeria, why are you not respecting me? You should respect me that somebody like this is creating chaos in Nigeria. And you are there talking rubbish. Respect me. You accorded me with all the chaos in Nigeria, all the insecurity in Nigeria is Simon Ekpa. Respect me for that. Can you create insecurity? You can't. Yet you come and say, I am nobody. I am nobody. You say they pay me $2.7 million. I am nobody. You say Nigerian government pay me $2.7 million. The same you is calling the Nigerian government to deport me. How can you be calling the people that are paying me to destroy the struggle to come and carry me? Are you stupid? You say they pay me money. Nigerian government pay me to destroy the struggle. At the same time, you are calling the Nigerian government to deport me, to come and kidnap me, like you arranged the kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Does it make sense? I am your last bus stop. I am your Nankema Oku no Europe. Oku Ninine. Chike Dosiamu will be getting bigger in his head. Until he will die off completely. And let me tell you, he will be getting bigger in the head. Maka enyegi otapiapia. Ndotia. O ihe na-eme. Enyegi ya onye amahomo ịma na ekwuru m the other day. Ọ dị ka ihe nyere ya bụ echieteka. Otapiapia, the one they call echieteka. Tomorrow is far. Go and ask question, what is echieteka? That one, that is what they gave him. So what they I will crack this joke for the next 10 minutes before I start my exposition of today. Tell them to go and write Finland. Tell them to write Finland. That Simon Ekpa is agitating for freedom of his people. So all the crime in Nigeria, he is the one committing it. all the killing and the kidnapping of Fulani, Simon Ekpa is causing it because he is saying that Biafra will be liberated by 2023. Write Finland, write UN. If you don't have material, come, let me give you material. Let me give you a material of all the people that they have killed. Put it under the name of Simon Ekpa and submit. I want you to understand that these are the people you must not listen to. They are gone completely. They are gone. The reason why I'm making this particular statement today is just, for some people who do not understand. I want them to understand that they don't know. This music I am dancing, what you don't know is bigger than you. I came to this Biafra struggle prepared. I have been saying it every day. I have told you people, you have done all the juju in this life, all the sacrifices with cows, everything. Simon Ekpa is still standing gidiban. You have done baby, you have tied baby on social media, you have threatened Simon Ekpa with knife on live video. There is nothing you have not done. Simon Ekpa is still waxing stronger and gidiban. And I have not even started. You have not seen my best. My best will come when Biafra finally go to war. You will see how we are going to defeat them. That is when you are going to know who Simon Ekpa is. Now we are still making mouth on social media. We are still preaching. So please, any place you see these criminals that sold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, give them opportunity to write to anywhere they want to write in the world. For the past 1 year, they have been writing Finland government. For the past one, I don't know whether all these criminals are better than Nigeria government. You can imagine non-entities shouting on radio of 400 people listening to them. They are shouting on radio. Simon Ekpa, anything happened, they are calling. No international community is listening to this idiot. They say, we are calling on international community. Which international community listening to you? Nobody listening to them. They are calling on international community. If Simon Ekpa commits crime in Nigeria, hold him responsible. Who are you talking to? No international community listening to an idiot like you. Fraudulent people. I have not even started. Wait. We are going to buy jet to fight Nigeria. Jet. It is. I just pray that you wouldn't go to that length. But when we are going to, if it is what is going to, we will buy military jet to fight Nigeria for our freedom. Go and mark my words today. So you think we are scared of anybody? I am not scared of anybody. Even if President Putin come here and stand and say, why are you doing this? I will tell him why I'm doing it. I am not scared of anybody, not a human being. The only person that I'm scared of in Biafra is God and myself. I have said this thing several times. So right to Finland, right to anywhere, what we are fighting is the freedom of my people. Right to heaven, tell God to come down, that Simon Ekpa is committing crime for fighting for freedom and to defend the vulnerable women and children. Right to President, what is his name again? Boris Johnson have resigned now. Right to Queen Elizabeth. Tell Queen Elizabeth that Simon Ekpa is coming. Simon Ekpa is going. Simon Ekpa is a scam. Simon Ekpa is Elizabeth. Simon Ekpa is Boris Johnson. Simon Ekpa is this and that. Right. I am here. You will write it to, when I will wake up tomorrow, you will still see me on social media. Next tomorrow, you will still see me on social media. The next 3 weeks, you will still see me on social media. After 1 month, you will still see me on social media. For the past 1 year, you still see me. That was how some idiot in Germany, they say they are Igbo, this and that. They say they want to write to Finland. Oh, Prosecutor of Finland, arrest Simon Ekpa. He is a criminal. He is a terrorist. He is this and that. Only on Nigeria's social media and Nigerian newspaper. It doesn't cross heaven. It does not even cross our ceiling to enter Finland. It doesn't cross Finland. They started contacting all the lawyers in Finland. Nobody responded to them. You understand? Nobody responded to them. Nobody responded to them. So, tell these idiotic and criminal people to go and write whatever they want to write. Anom gidigbam. Anom nite. Na su putu. Emere m nkwado. Chineke kwadoro m. Ndị omenala kwadoro m. Ndị eje ihe kwadoro m. Mmiri na ana kwadoro m. Enu na ana kwadoro m. Ana m asụ putu nite. I am not hiding my mouth. I'm not hiding my mouth. So go and do your juju. I have told you people, go to your oracle and do your juju. Go to anywhere, kill that cow, burn the cow alive, put it on the road. I am here. Mwa ganyo kunu. Ime numana ipeta kwa rebe sa ipa hansa mana pa afa ako ganyo pi. Anyuri. All of you, where are you today in Biafra land? Nothing. Nobody listening to you. You are gone forever and ever until Mazi Nnamdi Kanu come out. And he can never align himself with you. He can never align himself with you. Never will Mazi Nnamdi Kanu align himself with you. You already know what you did. Now we are going to move to our exposition of the day. But the one thing I want Biafra people to know today is that whatever you see them doing today is a sign that all this our claim all along is true. We say we control the entire Biafra land. We control Biafra land. And that is who we do. What we are doing is to restore Biafra. And we're going to restore Biafra next year. For those who say, instead Simon Ekpa will bring Biafra, they are going to die. Be ready to buy your coffin because you will die. I want you to understand that those who say they are going to die, if instead of Simon Ekpa will bring Biafra, they are going to kill themselves, tell them to go and buy coffin. Because it will be very sad for their families to use their hard-earned money to buy coffin for those idiots. They are going to buy coffin. Biafra is coming next year. And when Biafra come, we are going to know how these people will enter Biafra land. Very important. I want you to understand that I played a video here. Some people, last time, some people told me the video is old. The video is old. So I want to play it again. I want to play it again. I want you to pay attention to this video. This video is very, very, very important. When I played this video, I remember somebody make a comment last time that, oh, this is old bill now. I am telling you now, it has been implemented in a very different way. Now, listen.
Nigeria's National Assembly is currently considering the NGO regulation bill for passage. It has gone through the first reading, it's gone through second reading, it's now in committee stage, and later this month, the Committee on NGOs in the House of Representatives in Abuja will be holding a public hearing on the bill. And it's important that you understand what this bill means and its implications for both yourself as a citizen and for the country in general. And let me be clear, this is the most dangerous piece of legislation that has come for consideration in the National Assembly since the return to civil rule in 1999. It covers the activities of every entity and everybody that is not government. And it affects churches, mosques, schools, universities, hospitals, everything, as well as humanitarian operations wherever they are taking place in the country, whether in the northeast or in the southeast or south-south, whether in the middle belt or in the northwest or southwest. It is totalitarian in its consequences. Now, what does the bill require? Basically, all resources, all funds, everything that are collected or liable to be collected and made available to service communities, individuals in need in this country will be subject to Abuja. Before you can raise funds in your church and your mosque, you have to get Abuja's permission. After you've raised the money, you have to return them to Abuja for Abuja to tell you what to do with them. And when you've done that, only Abuja can help you to do your audits. Nobody can operate anything without clearance from Abuja. It's worse than a totalitarian piece of legislation. For the old mamas and old papas doing isusu in the village, that is revolving credit. Before you do your collection,
I want you to pay attention. When I play this video, they tell me, oh, somebody commented, oh, this is old video now. Maybe they have removed the bill. Maybe they have stopped the bill. Maybe they didn't stop it. What you don't know is bigger than you. So after you say is an old video, what happened? Did they implement this bill? Then maybe after this alarm this man raised, they remove it. But I want to tell you one thing. You see this information this girl is hearing here. Listen, is the same thing this man is talking about. Now listen.
I want to bring to your notice the latest banking system now concerning all the unregistered community savings accounts. Okay, make a breakdown down for you. What do they mean by unregistered community savings accounts? Now, like all those clubs, you know, as they form club, maybe organization, association, church, or like Omuna, Kingsmen, you know, or maybe community, they gather money, say, may they go put down for accounts. All those accounts where they get more than one signatory, you know, then they go there like 3, register their, go open accounts, you know, they will get like 3 signatories, 2 like signatories, all those accounts. Now the accounts now they talk say any people or any group of people we gotta go open that kind of accounts, may they come present their CAC, you know, to the bank, so then go sort them out with the bank. If not, every money where they put for the account to go disappear, whether na 5 million or 10 million or 50 million. Now be this matter now why they tell you. Not be something where go still happen. It don't they happen. They been give mandate. Read this thing where I paste for you here. Now waiting the banks.
The question you have to ask yourself: what did this lady they talk? Is it true? The answer is yes. It is true. Now listen to this man.
To service communities, individuals in need in this country will be subject to Abuja. Before you can raise funds in your church and your mosque, you have to get Abuja's permission. After you've raised the money, you have to return them to Abuja for Abuja to tell you what to do with them. And when you've done that, only Abuja can help you to do your audits. Nobody can operate anything without clearance from Abuja. It's worse than a totalitarian piece of legislation. For the old mamas and old papas doing isusu in the village, that is revolving credit. Before you do your collections, you come to Abuja for clearance. After you've done your collections, before you share the money or rotate the collections amongst the beneficiaries, you come to Abuja for clearance. Ahmadiyya movement will have to come to Abuja for clearance. NASFAT will come to Abuja to do anything. The mosques that do collections every Friday to support people in their congregations and their communities will all have to account for that money to civil servants who will either tell them what to do with it or collect it and trouser it into their pockets. The churches will be out of business, the mosques will be endangered. This is what the legislators want us to subscribe to. And as a
let me tell you, when you hear him saying, "Oh, the mosque will be endangered," is a lie. What is mosque making? Do you see any imam riding private jet? Do you see any imam driving, owning a private? I want to ask you, do you see any imam in a mosque, owning a private jet? The answer is no. Do you see any imam, moving with entourage? The answer is no. So when this man mentioned mentioned mosque, it's just because he is just as devious as Nigeria. This man talking this thing now is just as stupid as every Nigerian, is. He is a very stupid man to have, claimed that he's a Nigerian. Because even with the video he did, it didn't change anything. Still, they still come here and implement it in a different way. Listen.
Sent to the affected people, where they suppose go sort them out before now. They gave till the 12th, but it don't they happen already. 12th don't pass. People feel like saying as Niger thing they be now, they no go take them serious. But my people, this thing serious. Like you get some groups when me I day like this, where we say our money don't disappear. Wait till you go they see for the bank account balance na 00. Your account go there, they go delete them. You go your account, you go see 00. All your money don't disappear. So wait till they try bring to you people now. If you there any association, any club, whether na your church account or whether na your Kingsmen account, whether anything where you day, when a day in group go open an account, be corporate account, be waiting they call her. Make una kuku go withdraw na money. That's if your money have not disappeared yet. Make una kuku go withdraw your money. Withdraw your money, hold am for hand. First, before you go now begin to talk to the CAC something. Even if say you get CAC already, make sure you go reconcile them with the bank before you go leave your money for them there. If not, your name fit on to sorry. As I tell you now, it don't affect so many people. It don't affect so many people. It don't affect so many groups, so many clubs, so many associations, so many churches, even village people. It don't affect them too, because as they gather like this, they do contribution, carry money. Like especially get some people where we say every week they bring money, they do contribution, then get like 3 signatories. At the end of the day, they go carry the money, share them. Those people too affect them more because they don't get CAC. Even if say they get CAC, they never reconcile them with the bank. You understand? And if you go to reconcile them with the bank go demand for you make every signature wait there to bring their CBN.
Are you following? Listen, I am telling you, because when I played this man, they told me, oh, that was long time ago. How did it end? They say Ruga. They say water. It is the same thing when they tell you waterway. Ruga. It's the same thing in a different way. Now, they manipulated the system, and this man think that with this video he made, he has succeeded in creating awareness. Nobody listening to you. Fulani is hiring the highest advisors from the United Kingdom. They are advising them how to be very crooked, and they are winning the game because you people think you are educated. Look at them.
As a citizen, you've got to understand that this means that there will be no voice of criticism for government. Nobody can tell government anything. What this body proposes to do, what government is proposing with this bill, is that after it has been passed, everybody organizing in Nigeria under any form, students, all students association, reverend sisters in convents, reverend fathers and pastors, wherever they may be, imams, alfas, and everybody, you will have to apply to Abuja for them to register you to operate. If they agree to register, they can refuse to register you, in which case you cannot do anything.
They can refuse to register you, in which case you cannot do anything. That is the CAC this girl is talking about. Let us take it back. Let us take it back. Iti body boss. This girl say, even if you have CAC, CAC is corporate what is it again? CAC, Corporate Commission, whatever. When the way you register your business in Nigeria. What Corporate Affairs Commission, right? Is it Corporate Affairs Commission? What is it called? So if they can refuse to register you, CAC means Customer Acquisition Cost. No, Corporate Affairs Commission. It's Corporate Affairs Commission, I think. So once they refuse to register you, you are gone. Listen to it.
It don't affect so many people. It don't affect so many groups, so many clubs, so many associations, so many churches, even village people. It don't affect them too, because as they gather like this, they do contribution, carry money. Like especially get some people where we say every week they bring money, they do contribution, then get like 3 signatories. At the end of the day, they go carry the money, share them. Those people too affect them more because they don't get CAC. Even if
did you hear that? Because they not get CAC. Are you listening? Because they not get CAC.
At the end of the day, they go carry the money, share them. Those people too affect them more because they don't get CAC. Even if say they get CAC, they never reconcile them with the bank. You understand? And if you go
and even if they get CAC, they never reconcile them with the bank. I want you to listen.
Body proposes to do, what government is proposing with this bill is that after it has been passed, everybody organizing in Nigeria under any form, students, Old Students Association, Reverend Sisters in convents, Reverend Fathers and pastors, wherever they may be, imams, alfas, and everybody, you will have to apply to Abuja for them to register you to operate. If they agree to register, they can refuse to register you, in which case you cannot do anything.
So you have to apply to Abuja for them to register you to operate. What is that registration about? What is the name of the registration? CAC, Corporate Affairs Commission. In which case, if they refuse to register you, your money is gone. Who is the target? All of you. Ndi Igbo, Ndi Biafra, and in the South. You go into opening joint account in your businesses and all that. So you see it. And when I was making this exposition, somebody was commenting here, oh, this video is old. It was a long time ago. This man made this exposition. The question is, today, what is happening? All of you that have joint accounts, what is happening? Have they asked you to bring CAC? And once they know that you have not, you didn't have CAC, they will never register you. Even if you have 500 million in the account, it is gone. 500 million, it is gone. Completely gone. Listen.
reconcile with the bank go demand for you make every signature wait there to bring their CBN. Some people he had them to do them. So to say your company gets CAC or say your group gets CAC, the organization gets CAC, your club gets CAC, no be any guarantee say your money stays safe.
Are you hearing that? Even if you get the CAC, which this man is talking about, your money is not guaranteed. Hey! That is why when I look at all this thing, when I have all this information and the people in Nigeria don't have it, at least some of them have half of the information we have. Because if you have the right information, you will know what is happening to you. You know how you are going to make decisions. Some of you don't know all these things until you watch it from us, which is very bad. The system itself is designed to be like that, so that you will continue to wallow in ignorance.
They try let una know be say if you not get any money, share this message, pass and make it reach everywhere. No be joke, I they follow you joke, no be play, no be fake news. Don't tell they bring you na pure correct news. This thing don't already affect so many people. It don't already affect so many people, so many individuals, so many groups. It don't affect so many people. Help me share this message. Help me circulate this message. Make it reach everybody. Make them go collect their money before it's too late. That's if your money is still there. That's if your money is still there. Are there many groups and many these things where we say two of them say our money don't disappear like this, as they tell you to
Now, if they agree to register you, however, you will have to only hold that license for 2 years. After those 2 years, you will have to apply for them to renew your license. If they agree at that time to renew your license, you can continue operating for another 2 years. If they don't agree, that license lapses. If you try to do anything without that license, you'll be liable to be imprisoned for 18 months. And if they are sympathetic and agree not to send you to jail, you may be let go with a fine of 500,000 naira. The civil servants will collect this money in the name of the politicians. It will be used to fire up political power that will not be accountable to any one of us. And this is why I'm saying that this is the most dangerous piece of legislation that's been considered in our country to date, in the past 20 years. But you can do something about it. This does not have to be law. This will not be law if you agree that as the citizen, you are the boss. Contact your legislator at the state level, contact your legislator in Abuja, contact your senator and your distinguished senator in your senatorial zone and tell them this will not happen. This is.
Do you see how they deceive you? He came here and spoke grammar. Oh, it is a very dangerous legislation. Contact your senator, contact your CB, and ask him, where was he now when banks are closing joint account? Where was his legislators? Where was his senators? Where was his lawmakers? Where was his English? Where was his grammar? Where was his education? Where was his intellectual capacity? Where was his intellect? Where was all these things he know when they are closing account?
It happened today. You get some people say when they complain say their own happened yesterday, and as time they go, now so it go to happen. If share the distance, so by tomorrow morning, make everybody go collect their money. Now still on Total 101, they bring you this important message. I beg share them.
Ask the man and all of you, the NDOB, where was you people? Did you contact your senator? Did you contact your representative? Foul. Today, they have closed your account. Of course, you wouldn't even know because you don't belong to any organization.
It's your country. And unless you fight for it, these people are going to destroy it, not just for you, but for your children and for your grandchildren. And
he said, unless you fight for it, these people are going to destroy it, not for you, but for your children and your children's children. So now that have succeeded in to implement this law, can this man now come out to say, oh, this law that we say if they implement it is going to destroy the future, is going to destroy this? Can he now come out boldly to say that future has been destroyed? He cannot. He can't dare. Amugia. He is scared to come and say something that, oh, that thing is happening, oh, so they have destroyed Nigeria. Let us go for Biafra. He can't dare to say it. He will sleep and never wake up. That is why I don't blame the people that are not supporting Biafra. Because if they support Biafra, they will go to sleep and never wake up. I am telling you, they will assassinate them. Fulani, I mean, they are ready to kill anybody for Nigeria to remain one. So we don't want them to identify with Biafra publicly. Let them come to us and support us financially. Nobody will mention their name. Let us fight this war once and for all, so that somebody will not come here. You can imagine Biafra people, educated people all over the world. This man was, was he in the Hague? No, he was in ICC, if I'm not mistaken. Can you imagine somebody as brilliant as this man, is part of Biafra? Will he come and start telling people, oh, the Biafra government want to pass a legislative, they want to pass one bill, oh, Biafra people come, oh, this bill is evil. It's going to kill all Christians. It's going to block your future. It's going to, you think in Biafra, we are going to go to that point of somebody calling their public attention that this bill is bad. But look at him here. Upon all this awareness he tried to create with all the graphic design and all that, it didn't lead anywhere. Yet, they are still blocking accounts. From the back door. From the back door. Do you now see the reason why we are focused? While others are dragging for who is an IPOB member, who is not IPOB. For the past 1 year, Simon Ekpa is not a member. Simon Ekpa is a member. We are moving mountain. As they are busy dragging who is the owner of the money, as they are busy dragging who is the secretary of the money, who is supposed to raise fund, we are moving mountain. We have succeeded in rebranding the Eastern Security Network in a way that their welfare is being taken care of. But remember, it's subject to how financially committed you are in funding Eastern Security Network. The money does not fall from heaven. That is why you do not need to wait until it is fundraising before you can pay to the ESN website. No, pay something whenever you have. $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $500, $200, $100, $50. Pay any day you have money. Go there and pay, because we spend only feeding of ESN is money. Feeding alone a month is money. I am telling you the fact. Feeding of ESN is money. Not to talk of equipment they need to protect our land. So you see why we need fund every day. When all these idiots they are talking, they say, oh, all the thing they know is raising fund. They don't know. Do you know how much is ESN feeding every month? They don't know. They thought, the people who are volunteering in ESN will just go to bush and start eating grass. Anyway, they don't know. They don't know how much is the feeding of ESN every month. Only if they know. Now, we are now going to, because remember, everything you see here is Abuja Declaration, Fulanization of Nigeria. It is coming with speed. Now, let us go to the next exposition that we are doing today, bringing you the people of Kaduna, the governor Shehu Sani. I want you to pay attention to what I'm about to do.
Might be the headquarter of terror for the entire East. What do you make of this memo to the president, and how will you assess what is happening generally as far as insecurity is concerned in Kaduna State?
Thank you again for having me. Well, first and foremost, over the years when I was at the National Assembly, I had on countless occasions stood up on the floor of the Senate to bring to the spotlight and the conscience of the nation the attention of the executive arm of state to the reality of the situation in Kaduna State. I have stood up and I have raised motions, and I have spoken continuously and consistently on the paralysis of security situation in Kaduna. But at that time, each time I stood up to speak, people like the governor of the state and his likes had used the opportunity to portray me as someone who was undermining the government or exaggerating the situation.
Okay, we are going to go back. We are going to refresh and then go back. So start again, because some people are complaining. Are you laughing at Shehu? Are you laughing at Shehu Sani? Are you laughing at seeing Shehu Sani or what? Huh? The person that is laughing Are you laughing for? Are you laughing for seeing Shehu Sani, right? All right. Okay, so we are going now. Let us. Shehu Sani look funny, right? He look funny. He say he look funny. Oh my God. I feel like man. In a form civilized man.
And the memo that the governor of the state, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, wrote to the president, basically in desperation to say that Kaduna might become the headquarters of terror for the entire Northwest. What do you make of this memo to the president, and how will you assess what is happening generally as far as insecurity is concerned in Kaduna State?
I want you to understand that what is playing now is the Afghanistan template. Today, they are coming out small. They are coming, just exactly what happened in Afghanistan. They are coming out small. Now, the governor of Kaduna State is claiming that Boko Haram terrorists are creating parallel government in Kaduna State. Are you aware of that? Those of you that say Biafra will not come in 2023, are you aware that they are already handing over Nigeria to terrorists just like they did in Afghanistan? Are you aware that the governor of Kaduna State has officially notified the president that the terrorists are creating parallel government in Kaduna? You are not aware of that? All right, let me bring it to you. All of you are not aware. I will bring it to you. Evidence. In case you don't know, this man called El-Rufai have just notified Abuja that they have created parallel government. Do you see it? El-Rufai, exclusive. El-Rufai writes to Buhari, say terrorists creating parallel government in Kaduna. You don't know this one now. Are you aware? They have notified you now officially. This is an official notification. So not tomorrow now. They say they did not inform you. Okay? Terrorists are consolidating their grip on communities in Kaduna with a parallel government and permanent operational base in the northwestern state near Nigeria capital Abuja. Governor Nasir El-Rufai has told President Muhammadu Buhari. Premium Times has exclusive report. El-Rufai warned the president of the terrorist consolidation in a late July memo cited by Premium Times. The terrorists belonging to Ansaru al-Muslimina fil Bilad al-Sudan, or Ansaru for short, are believed to have moved to Benin Gwari in Kaduna State in 2012 when they broke away from Boko Haram. Are you people listening? 2012, and the man is raising memo yesterday. The terrorists belonging to the Ansaru, okay, according to the intelligence report and human sources consulted in further reporting, for this story. The terrorists and the terrorists that formed Ansar were responsible for some of the high-profile attacks claimed by Boko Haram before the split. I want you people to understand that Afghanistan is playing right before your very own eyes. And for that, I want us to list this. Afghanistan is playing before your very own eyes.
Fellow Nigerian, in search of excellence for Africa, my mission remains to create awareness, advance practical solutions, and transform mindsets via case studies. Together, let's meet wife dilemmas for our race, country, and continent. Please share this vision. I am Dr. Israel Noyaram Davidson. Thank you. In 2001, US-led forces overthrew a Taliban-led Afghan government following the 9/11 attacks led by the Al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden. For the next 20 years, the US and allies enforced democratic ideals, built up Afghan security forces, and provided operational help. The Taliban continued to attack. Now, eventually, under President Trump, the U.S. promised to pull out if Taliban agreed to stop attacks and hosting terrorist groups. Today, the Taliban militants have declared Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan and overrun most of the country at lightning speed with little or no resistance from the 300,000 U.S. trained and heavily equipped Afghan forces. U.S. general could not believe an army could crumble at that rate.
I did not, nor did anyone else, see a collapse of an army that size in 11 days. There'll be many postmortems on this topic, but right now is not that time.
It is believed the Afghan soldiers, though diehards, had unquenchable allegiance to jihadist ideologies practiced by Taliban. They were Afghan soldiers by day, Taliban at heart, and Taliban at night. A situation some suggest currently exists in Nigeria too. So Afghanistan was simply handed over to the mullahs to govern based on their shared jihadist ideological leaning. The south and middle belt of Nigeria should wake up with urgency. The Afghan situation is cooking fast in Nigeria today. Afghanistan is number 1 on global terrorist list. Nigeria is number 3, second to
I've just listened to that. Exactly, Afghanistan playing right before your very own eyes in Nigeria. And what they are doing is to say, Simon Ekpa and Napolo handing a table. Simon Ekpa block their criminality. Simon Ekpa block their Nzama. Simon Ekpa block everything they are stealing from Biafran people. And they no longer talk about the terrorists. They no longer talk about how they want to take over Nigeria. They no longer talk about Biafra. It is now Simon Ekpa. I have become a thorn in their flesh. They say I am nobody, yet they are warning international community about me. I don't know how many of them. Has anybody ever warned any of them or taken their name or called international community about the agitation for their own freedom? None of them has ever been called by anybody, including calling the country they live. They have been in agitation for 10 years. They have nothing to show for it. Nothing. Only to sell. The only thing they achieve is to sell mass in America. Today, they have abandoned the struggle. We chase them away. And Simon Ekpa has become Biafra. Every day they are shouting Simon Ekpa. While many things are happening in Nigeria that they should focus on. They are not interested because the money has blocked. We block the money. The criminals syndicate, they call anonymous, their own is gone. They can never, ever, ever, ever regain themselves again. Forever and ever. Where Biafra come, we will not give room for all these criminals. Now let us listen to Shehu.
Thank you again for having me. Well, first and foremost, over the years when I was at the National Assembly, I had on countless occasions stood up on the floor of the Senate to bring to the spotlight and the conscience of the nation and the attention of the executive arm of the state to the reality of the situation in Kaduna State. I have stood up and I have raised motions and I have spoken continuously and consistently on the paralysis of security situation in Kaduna State. But at that time, each time I stood up to speak, people like the governor of the state and his likes had used the opportunity to portray me as someone who was undermining the government or exaggerating the situation or falsifying what was actually happening in Kaduna State.
Are you hearing it?
Many of them thought we were painting the president in bad light. They were so subsumed into President Buhari to the fact that they refused to tell him the truth about the situation for political reasons or for whatever. Now, the letter written by the governor of the state appears he is a new convertee to what we have been talking about over the years. And there is nothing special about that memo. Kaduna State has been under the siege of bandits for many years. Right now, you can appropriately say it is the hub of terrorist groups and also the hub of kidnapping as a business, as an industry in the state. The fact that he said they were establishing a parallel government is also the truth of the matter as it is on the ground. In places like...
Are you hearing it? The fact that El-Rufai said they are creating a parallel government is truth. Fact, confirmed. They have confirmed it too. You don't hear them? Let me take it back.
And there is nothing special about that memo. Kaduna State has been under the siege of bandits for many years. Right now, you can appropriately say it is the hub of terrorist groups and also the hub of kidnapping as a business, as an industry in the state. The fact that he said they were establishing a parallel government is also the truth of the matter as it is.
It is also the truth of the matter as it is on the ground. Listen to it again.
As a business, as an industry in the state. The fact that he said they were establishing a parallel government is also the truth of the matter as it is on the ground.
All right.
In places like Benungwari, terrorists have mapped out territory for themselves.
Okay.
They have appointed leaders.
Are you people hearing it? Yet, there is no police. When the president told you yesterday, they are mobilizing people. They are mobilizing the army. They are mobilizing police to deal with ESN and Biafra agitators. They are telling you, Kaduna, 100 kilometers away from Abuja, they are now setting up a government. Yet, there is no military bombardment. And somebody will be sitting and be calling Simon Ekpa international community, come on, Simon Ekpa is going to commit crime because he wants to liberate Biafra. Our hand, there. Who told you that your hand is there? Are you agitating for Biafra? We have chased you away. Did we tell you that you are part of what we are doing? You are not part of what we are doing. You are gone. The otapia they gave you, very soon it will work because you can't escape it. Ondo to give you the otapia. Your Radio Biafra coming to run to Radio Biafra. Otapia is working on you. We didn't do it. Ondo to give me eh? Ndi na-enye nsi ana akwụọra gị otapia echeteka ị na-ebu n'isi and you are coming and the person that is responsible for the otapia is pushing you to go to Radio Biafra and talk. On a chain we get the last breath. That is how wicked they are. They have killed a lot of people in Biafra land with otapia. I remember the way experience the chai alomero. I want you people to listen. All this testimony exposition you are seeing that terrorists are creating their own government within Nigeria. Nobody is talking. They are in Eastern Nigeria. The same terrorists are in Eastern. And also we are not going to wait from them. Go and bring the entire police in the world to come and catch Simon Ekpa. That Simon Ekpa is fighting for freedom because nobody has ever fought for freedom in this life. Only Simon Ekpa. Simon Ekpa is the one that nobody have done in this life what Simon Ekpa is doing. Oh, Simon Ekpa is creating insecurity everywhere. Oh my goodness. I have not even displayed that I have purchased military jet. I have not even displayed that we have a rocket. I have not, and I wish that we have it now. So I will display it to the world. Maybe then they will begin to, listen to you. Because now, all the things all this idiot, nobody is listening to you. Wait, let us begin to display rocket. That is when they are going to listen to you. Wait. So that when you see rocket launcher everywhere, they will listen to you. Maybe that time they will begin to say, it's like this is someone. These people are serious. So now nobody is going to listen to you because we have not launched rocket. We have not, we have not redeclared Biafra because it's going to be the declaration of Biafra. So maybe that time nobody. I will be announcing Biafra restoration and the declaration of Biafra on this channel. The day Biafra will come, Simon Ekpa will announce it here alongside every other autopilot, and those CNN will carry it, BBC will carry it, everybody will carry it. I will be here announcing Biafra. I am telling you, go and mark today's date. You will sleep in Nigeria and wake up in Biafra. When I told you people, I know the date Biafra will come. I know the date Biafra will come. I am saying it again. And let me tell you, except that Biafra people decided they don't want Biafra again. It's a different thing. But I believe, of course, that can never happen. Okay? I know the date Biafra will come. You know that, you people know that. Can you imagine? 1 year ago, the first day I made that comment, hey, internet was on fire. Everywhere was, they were blackmailing me. They used the video. They play it on their platform. Ask yourself, can they play it now and again? Can they use it to do program again? They cannot. Because they themselves, they are seeing the green light of Biafra. They see what we have done so far. They know how far we have gone. So they are now very skeptical. They are like afraid. It be like, say, this guy, every ESN now, they are in charge. All the armed group in Biafra, they are in charge. So it be like, say, this guy is talking the truth. We will not attack this thing again. I am telling you, I have been making this comment lately. They have not attacked me on it. They have not come to do program. Oh, tell them now. He said, You don't wash your brain. I'm not seeing that again. But you remember that last year, especially last year, when I made such comment, hey, was it last year or early this year? When I made such comment, hey, the hell was let loose everywhere. He said, Onyori Ekperima, he knows where he knows when Biafra will come. They were blackmailing, making video. Today they are not making video. This one I'm saying today now, you will not see them tomorrow. You will not see them tomorrow to say, he has come again. Oh, we want to do fundraising now. He come to know when Biafra will come. I have said it. I am saying it again. I know the date Biafra will come. I want to tell you the reason why they are not doing it again, because they know the truth. Only them know the truth. But they will continue to live in fake life and denial. So now they can't dispute that particular claim of I know the day Biafra will come. Somebody, Tina Martin he said I should start waking them up. No. Oh, dragon Jerry. Dragon Jerry up walk no be. But when they are awake, how can I live? How can I survive on social media when they are not awake? I have to wake them up. Huh? You know, Mazinam Dekanu say, if there is no problem, he will create one. If he see that everybody is quiet, he will create one problem. Our remote, we control them. We control them with remote. So when I see that there is no problem, I create one. And it is working very well. You see, yesterday, I created a new problem by exposing the criminal ordering the killing of Ikonso's family. And today, you see, welcome to the program. We have become the topic of international community. How can Samoneta survive without this particular violence? Okay? So whenever I see that if the violence is not there, we create one. We create one. Or Otoba. All right, let us listen to Sheikh.
They collect taxes from villagers and also farmers. Have to pay them money before you go to your farm also to harvest your crops. So this is destruction, as it has been for a very long time. But for the fact that they have lost control, and it's also an admission of failure, and I do not see anything new, because in the state today, I can say there are only two local governments that can sleep with your eyes closed, which is the South. And even in those local governments, the outskirts are still not safe.
Are you hearing, Shehu? This is Senator Shehu Sani. Senator Shehu Sani is telling you today that you can't sleep with your eye open. Okay? Refresh. You can't sleep with your eye open. Shehu Sani say you can't sleep with your eye open. So I am going to show you one thing. I'm going to show you one thing. Shehu Sani said, you can't sleep. You can't sleep. You sleep with your eye open. So I'm looking for I'm looking for comment of Shehu Sani. I'm looking for comment of Shehu Sani. I'm looking for comment of Shehu Sani. All right, here we go. This is the comment. Shehu Sani, did you hear him? He said, let me bring the video back first so that, you know, you will follow it very well.
Harvest your crops. So this is this terrorists have mapped out territory for themselves. They have appointed leaders. They collect taxes from villagers and also farmers. Have to pay them money before you go to your farm and also to harvest your crops. So this is the situation as it has been for a very long time. But for the fact that they have lost control and is also an admission of failure, and I do not see anything new here, because in Kaduna State today, I can say there are only two local governments that you can sleep with your eyes closed, which is the Kaduna South and Kaduna North.
Are you hearing? They say, he said, you cannot sleep with your eye closed. This man who say you cannot sleep with your eye closed is inviting me to go to a place where I can sleep without my eye closed. I want you to watch. Look, Shehu Sani inviting me. Shehu Sani inviting me to come to a place that I will sleep without my eye closed. Are you seeing it? Shehu Sani is inviting me to come to a place that I will sleep without and open my eyes. Look at it. Shehu Sani said, I am inviting you to Kaduna coming weekend. Come, let's visit Kafanchan together. We just talk. Have you seen how bad these people are? Have you seen it? Here he is, lamenting that you can no longer sleep with your eyes closed in Kaduna. He is on Twitter, forming that he can go to Kafanchan, and he is inviting me to come to Kafanchan. Look at it. Shehu Sani is inviting me to come to Kafanchan. I want you to say all these people are just fraudsters. Fraudsters. Oh, Jesus Christ. Look at him. Shehu Sani said that Chief Ekpa, he just the fresh and the add weight for Europe. He just the fresh for Europe. He dey pay am. I told the man, Governor Shehu, my muscle alone is weighing 90 kg. It is only people like you that look fresh in Nigeria upon the fact that Nigeria is bankrupt. Please, can you tell people in Southern Kaduna your secret? They too want to look like you before the country break up in 2023. He said, I am inviting you to Kaduna coming weekend. Come, let's visit Kafanchan together. No, we just talk. Here, this man is now here telling you you cannot sleep and close your eyes in Kaduna, where he is inviting you. No be juju be that. I am asking you. No be juju be that. The same man is now telling you how terrible and bad the situation is.
So this is the situation as it has been for a very long time. The fact that they have lost control and also an admission of failure, and I do not see anything new here, because in Kaduna State today, I can say there are only 2 local governments that you can sleep with your eyes closed, which is the Kaduna South and Kaduna North.
Only 2 local government you can sleep with your 2 eyes closed. But he is inviting me for weekend.
And even in those local governments, the outskirts are still not safe.
Okay.
So the government has failed over the years, and the successes in terms of the war against terror and these kidnappers is very minimal. Look at it very well now. They attacked the Greenfield University, which is in the outskirts of Kaduna. The parents of those children have to pay ransom over 200 million and secure the release of their children. They attacked Federal College of Agriculture Transition in the outskirts of Kaduna. The parents of those children have to pay ransom to secure the release of their children. They attacked the Bethel Baptist High School. There are some few students still in captivity. Parents have to gather money, sold their homes, their farms, their possessions, beg and borrow money, pay kidnappers to secure their loved ones. Now, it has reached a point where it's so useless. Each time your uncle, your mother, your father, or if your relation is kidnapped, you simply have to seek contact with the kidnappers, pay them, and secure the release. The government is virtually absent. There has not been any serious, successful operation that led to rescue of this mass number of people. So people in Kaduna State virtually live under the siege of bandits. In southern Kaduna, it's another peculiar area where they engage in campaign of genocide. They raid villages, almost drive away everyone, burn down houses, and nothing happens. This is a state that has the largest location of military and defense apparatus in Nigeria.
Are you hearing that? The state that has the largest military apparatus in Nigeria is now, did you hear that? Do you know the implication of that? Kaduna State is the state that has the largest military apparatus in Nigeria. Today, the terrorists have captured the state and they have created the parallel government. And this man was inviting me to come there, not be just to talk. He's inviting me for the weekend to come and see how wonderful Fulani are ruling Kaduna. How good Kaduna is. Kafanchan, come, let us go to Kafanchan and drink dawa and nono. Eat nunu the curry or whatever, and eat kuli. He's inviting me to Kaduna to go and eat kuli with him. And pretending as if, when you read the comment on Twitter, you think that you are going to be sleeping on the road in the night in Kaduna. But here he is, telling you how bad that people are being kidnapped, government present is not there, they are paying ransom, you can't sleep with your eye closed, and all that. And this man was inviting me on Twitter. Chai, Aromelo. On this note, we are going to open the telephone line and we are going to receive call on our question and answer, daily question and answer on Biafra, liberation, and whatever question that bothers you, you need to ask that question today. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. The line is open. We're going to receive maybe like 10 to 15 calls, question. Please, before we do that, please, before we start receiving calls, we want to see this particular like to catapult to at least 2,000 plus likes. As you are liking and subscribing to this channel, make sure you subscribe to notification so that you will be able to be notified whenever we are live. So we have on YouTube alone over 3,700 people live and direct watching. So let us see 2,800 or 2,000 something at least like before we come for question and answer. So we are going to go on commercial. As we are going on commercial, take your time and hit the like button. Let us hit at least 2,000 something likes.
IPOB, one family. Biafrans all over the world. If we want safety and security for our people, then let's continue to support Eastern Security Network. All donations are welcome. No contribution is too small or too large. Do your part, knowing that freedom is in our hands and together we must all rise to the occasion. Go to our website to make your contribution, www.ipobinUSA.org/donate. And remember that freedom is not free, but together we restore it, farm by farm, forest by forest, house by house, and street by street.
You must listen to her. Of course, you must go and listen to Simon Ekpa, who is doing a very fantastic job. Very great job that Simon Ekpa is doing. Very, very, absolutely fantastic job that he's doing. You must listen to him and share his videos accordingly. Very, very important. He is bringing a new dimension to this very awareness that we are making, and you must listen to him. Very, very important.
All right, you're welcome. Yes, we have hit 2,000 likes. So we got enough. We'll take the calls. Welcome to the program. Good evening from here. Go ahead with your question, please.
Thank you so much. And well done for your good service. You are rendering to Chineke.
Yeah, well.
In business, one goes into business. Sometimes that business may not work out properly, or you might even lend out money to a debtor, and that business can go what we call bad debt. Now, drawing it down to Nigeria and the implication is what I want to know, what it will have on my country, Biafra. The borrowing of money from China, even when China knew that Nigeria is going to collapse, maybe they are running a business, and at the end of the day, this huge amount of money being borrowed from China, and Nigeria cannot be able to pay back until Biafra brings the way. That this money were borrowed and none was effected in the southeast. In fact, they counted out southeast. They don't give any money to the southeast to develop, but they only squandered that money among themselves. What will be the implication of this loan from China and all other countries when we break out of Nigeria by the mercy of God next year?
That's a very good question. If you look at the original declaration of Biafra, you will understand that Ikem Bandewe, General Ojukwu, while declaring independent state of Biafra, recognized the fact that every debt, that Nigeria was owing, could be shared between, and that he was ready for that particular compromise to share the debt, and so. But that was completely a different thing at that time, because at that time there were no the issue of this borrowing and the Southeast Gate Zero and stuff like that. So during that time, there were still some kind of in the national asset and stuff like that. It was not as bad as it is today. So, but Ojukwu during the declaration of Biafra recognized the fact that they are open and very flexible to negotiate on on outstanding debt. Okay, so moving forward to today, to this 2022 and the situation of Nigeria, we may decide to also share the debt selectively, partially, and those borrowing that we did not, that has no, that the Southeast or did not benefit, or the Biafra did not benefit, we may also dispute it legally. So these are options that we are going to take. So it is either we accept to share partially the debt of Nigeria, and then when the partially means that those ones that we are very, very sure that have borrowed the money and the Southeast did not, were neglected, we may decide to dispute it. So, and of course, if it is something that we are going to overlook, we may also go ahead and overlook it and move on.
It's okay. It's okay by me. I think you gave a very precise answer to this question, and I'm pleased. Thank you so much. That's the only question I have for today.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, this is the Gaddafi.
Gaddafi, go ahead with your question.
Yeah, sir, the question I want to ask is that, here we are living ordinary fight. Fighting, if you fight here, you pay like $1,000 just that you fight. Then if you make the part of the person's body, you go to jail. So in Biafra, is there any law like that? And also, two, my second question is, why is it that the law did not handle for anybody that holds a political office in Biafra land, from councillor to senator to the president, that their children will not go to school abroad? Their children will not go to private school. Third question, what about the every official should not have a bank account in abroad? Handle things like this. One, in South Korea where I am today, you don't fight here, no matter what, you don't fight, no matter what. As long as you fight, first of all, you pay fine.
You need to be asking your question one after the other. So you don't just ask all these questions and so which one do I address now?
Okay, let me start from children of the politicians, from councillor to president. The law will prohibit them from attending schools in abroad.
We are not going to have such laws that will prohibit anybody from studying abroad. The thing is that you can't have, of course, if some people may want to have such law, but I don't think it is human to prohibit somebody from studying abroad because the father is a politician or the father holds a position of office. We are not going to have such law. It goes against Universal Declaration of Human Rights. So one thing is that, what we are going to do is that Biafra will be a country that you don't have any reason to study abroad, except on a very, very exceptional ground, that the person want to just go to acquire knowledge somewhere. So we are going to have the world's best standard educational system. So, we are going to invest in education. So I don't think people will want to go out abroad to study, because what you are going to study in abroad, when you come back to Biafra, the standard of education, will almost be the same. So nobody is going to accord you any respect differently for studying abroad. The reason why people are going abroad to study today is because of the Nigeria educational system is in the hand of Fulani. It is dead. They go on strike, and the students don't have motivation. There is no social amenities. There is no equipment. There is no library. There is no structure. There is no conducive environment to study. The teachers are corrupt. Everything is just rotten. So you see, if you go to Nigeria school, you may end up not learning anything. And that is a very bad thing. So that's why some people would prefer to send their children abroad to study. If you have a educational system that the teachers don't go on strike, that the teachers are well cared for, pay their salary and all that, and their whatever that they need, they don't need to go on strike, and you set the curriculum, the educational curriculum, to one of the best in the world. Why would somebody send his children abroad to study? So that kind of law cannot be made to target a certain people, because when you make that kind of law, you are not being, you are targeting a certain people. Law is not made to target anybody, okay? But once you define it that a politician children or anybody that that the parent is a politician or holding a political position cannot do this, cannot do that, it means that you have targeted a certain people, and law is not for to target a certain individual. Two is that people who have a political position opening account abroad is also the same thing. You can, the way our banking system will be in a way to regulate certain things. You can't actually stop such activities or action of people. People can still open account abroad. Even in this country where we are, as developed, as innovative as this country, the citizens still go abroad and open account. So you can't. It is something that you cannot control. But the point is that opening account is not the question. The question is that how are you going to steal the money you are going to put into that account? That is the question. And we are going to make sure that our system doesn't allow such.
Another question, sir. What about, in Nigerian system, the children of the political holder, office holder, their children go to private school. That is why they run down the government schools.
No. The reason why it is the same explanation to going abroad. It is the same reason.
Okay.
It is the same reason they go to abroad to study, because the government schools are not being funded, and they don't regard them. So when you have standard school, when you fund them, when you have all the equipment, library, and all that you need in a government school, why would somebody go to private institution? When you have quality teacher, quality education in public school, why would you go to private institution? So it is because the government university is just as useless as anything. Nobody learn anything from there. That's why parents will want their children to go to private, where they can pay as you go. It is called pay as you go. So when you pay money, they teach your children something. Your children will be taught, in a very conducive environment, and they receive the quality education. But when you go to Nigeria government school and public school, nothing is there, because it is nobody's property. So that is going to change in Biafra. We're going to pay attention and invest in education. If you look at the Nigeria budget, that's going to tell you a lot. When they are budgeting for purchasing of car to Nigeria Republic, when it comes to education, they budget like they budget like people cleaning, like the budget you used to clean gutter in Lagos. That is what Nigeria does. So it reflects in the educational system, it reflects in the life of the student in Nigeria. So we're not going to do that. We're never going to do that. Education and security is going to be one of the most biggest priority we're going to have in Biafra.
So another question, sir. Like here in South Korea, every child that passed through school here, mostly from university to do your youth service, every youth service has been done in the military. Is that how it's going to be in Biafra land?
It is not there is different between military and youth service. Military is not youth service. We are not going to use a military as youth service. Military is going to be a service that everybody that is 18 years will go to. Every male will go to a compulsory military service. That is not a youth service. Now we are going to, when you talk about youth service, youth service means somebody who went to school and he went to university and they graduate from university and you go to serve the nation. So when people are talking about
for 1 year.
So when people are talking about, so everybody, not everybody in Nigeria have the opportunity to go to youth service because not everybody went to school. So that is different there. So when people are telling you that military service is youth service, no, it's a different thing. So we are going to have military service. We are going to have youth service. Youth service is not about, it's not like the way you do it in Nigeria. What we're going to do is that as you are going to school, studying, we will put you into work life. You are going to go to practical training. You are going, this thing they call IT training is rubbish in Nigeria. We are going to design our system that as you are studying, you are putting whatever you are studying into practical. You go to practical training to companies, to government offices, depending on what you are studying. So you go maybe you study 1 year, and then the first 1 year in school, the 3 months goes to training, and then you come back to school. So this is the system we do here, and it is very, very productive. So it is not about just go to school for 4 years and graduate and come out. No, you are going to be going to practicals. You are going to get work experience as you study, so that when you come out, before you graduate from school, you already have work experience from practices.
Yeah, sir, the last question is that, another question is that, sir, in other countries, they pay their any child that born in that place are being paid to a certain age. How is that going to be handled in Biafra land, sir?
In Biafra,
even the ones that are not working, the ones that are born newly.
In Biafra, we are going to have social service. The social service, the social security service, we are going to have it. And that is why the most important and the first thing we are going to do is data collection. We are going to build electronic data collection, that anybody that is born today will automatically be registered and it will go into the data system. When you have that database system, you can now begin to organize your social welfare and social services. So yes, we are going to have that. And because that is what is going to solve the crime problem we are going to have. The problem we're going to have in the first 2 years, 3 years, 5 years is going to be this particular issue, and we are going to solve it. So, and this requires a very good structure, a very good policy, government policy. And it is working in different parts of the world. So if it is working in other parts of the world, it is going to work in Biafra. So yes, we are going to care for those who are unemployed, and they're going to be receiving things every month.
Sir, the last question, sir, please. Sorry to take your time. How are we?
The question you just asked, you just said that this question now was the last one. Now you are asking another one.
Sorry, sir. This is the last one. This is the last one. Like a government grant, like here in South Korea, which I use as an example, when you have a knowledge and you have things to do, the government will give you grants, so that's why you see all over here, you can see manufacturing of a thing is much there because government gives the citizen grants, to go into manufacturing. Is that going to be included in Biafran constitution?
We are going to have a design. This falls into the labor market, okay, into the labor law. We are going to design such programs for people who want to go into innovation and all that. So not only those who want to, we are going to also have a system that if you want to go into entrepreneurship with your skills, you will be, you will be put into training how to, run that particular business, entrepreneurship, and the government of Biafra will support you to give you a startup for that particular small scale businesses. So we are going to have that particular. What we are going to do in Biafra will shock the world. Of course, it's not going to shock them because they have this system very functional in their countries, in different countries. Every Europe, have it. So you have possibility to support the small scale businesses and even the big businesses when they have a very good business plan and business idea. They make application, and once they file application, some professionals, experts will assess that particular application, know whether the business is going to be lucrative or not. And if the business is if the person application and the description of business is convincing enough, you are going to be approved to be given some kind of a certain fund, maybe for like 6 months for a startup. So that kind of system, we are going to have it in Biafra. And the thing you are talking about is for those who want to embark on research, on research and innovation, that they have idea, they want to produce gun, for example, they want to produce weapon, for example. Of course, we're going to support them. Once we see that the person have a very good proposal that they want to go into research and stuff like that, we will support them. We give them grants. It is called grant. We give them certain grant, which will be subject to some kind of a supervision by expert. So you are not just going to collect grant and just leave. You're going to collect grant, and either the labor office or whatever the office is going to be will be monitoring the person progress in that particular grant that he has collected, and what the person have been able to achieve with the grant, and give a proper report to the appropriate offices or appropriate channel and all that. So this is a way we're going to keep the country running, and I believe we're gonna make wonders. So yes, we're gonna do
Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. I will join other questions for next day.
All right, thank you very much. All right, I have a few minutes left. Welcome to the program. Good evening from here.
Yeah, I can hear you. Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening. Ask your question, please.
I'm calling from Biafra land.
Go ahead with your question.
So, the question number.
Thank you.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Please, I have one question.
Ask your question.
Request. My question is that as we are now in Nigeria now, all these companies slaving people, putting everybody in contract staff, paying them peanuts, how are we going to stop it?
In Biafra land, listen. In Biafra land, we are going to have what we call the minimum wage for, that will be designed by the labor office, guided by labor laws. So they're going to be minimum wage.
Yeah.
So nobody is going to breach that law. If you breach that law, it falls under human trafficking. Because human trafficking is not when you capture somebody and transport the person to another country. No. Human trafficking falls under when you exploit somebody, when you employ somebody and you rip the person off. That person becomes a victim of traffic. So we are going to, that particular crimes falls under human traffic law. So Biafra is going to uphold that.
Okay. My request is that, we are in the Biafra land. We want to contribute, even if it's for 1 naira. At least most of us, we can drink there 2 bottles, 3 bottles, and trade of 350. So let's contribute, no matter little.
We are going. We are going to. We are going to. We are going to. This is not a priority now because of the security situation. So we are still working on that to see how people in Biafra land can support us.
Okay.
The only people we are looking for are people who have money, who have big money. If you have millions, small money can help, but not yet. We need our big fish.
Every month.
I know we need our big fish now. Now. All right, but I understand that it is good.
At least 5,000 or 10,000 can go a long way in every month.
Yes, it can go. But we will get to that. If that Mazinam they cannot have suspended that, but of course situation have changed, and we are revealing that thing and see how we are going to activate it. If possible. But for now, we are looking for very big fishes to catch for this Biafra restoration. Thank you very much for your question. I appreciate it.
Right.
All right. Good evening from here.
Good evening, Marty. This is a call from South Africa.
You're welcome to the program.
Thank you. I've been calling you for years, but I couldn't. I'm happy to get you online this evening.
Thank you.
Maze, there is something that I wanted to highlight, please. It's not a question. This war that you fought, internal war, the people that are supposed to work with you decided to turn back and fight you. The war, for the fact that you won this war, shows that there's no war you cannot win, because they say the enemy inside the house is more dangerous than enemy outside. So this war you fought inside and won has shown that no matter there's no amount of war or amount of attack that will come from outside that you cannot win. The problem that we have is our people, the black people, as Mazi used to say, they don't like to bring somebody who have experience into anything. They believe we started it, we've been here, who are you to come today and do this and that? I was arguing about with somebody. I told him, why is it that in Europe, like in the league they're playing, they go today in Africa, they see somebody who can play football enough, they buy that person.
Yes.
Then they bring that person and feature him in a club. He started playing while there is people that is there before. Why do they do that?
Yes.
Why can't they say, we've been here, we started this
Very
club,
brilliant.
why are you going to bring in somebody and this and that?
Very brilliant.
But this is the problem we have in Africa. Africans, and especially Nigerians, they don't want to employ somebody who knows the job. They want to prove that they have been there and what we started and this and that. So I'm happy that God brings you into the struggle to give it a shape. Because now that the struggle have a shape, anybody who is interested to fight for freedom will join you. Anybody who didn't join you, that person doesn't want to fight the freedom. He just wanted to do whatever he feel like that can benefit him personally. So that's the only thing I wanted to tell you today.
Thank you very much. In fact, this your illustration is a very win a team what we call a diamond. Is a diamond illustration. Honestly. Because there will never be any better illustration, than this football team. Because you can imagine that somebody will be playing for that team, and then the team will go and buy somebody with billions, or $1 million per week or something like that. Why there are people who are playing who are not receiving such amount.
Yes.
In that same club.
So it pains me. It pains me.
This person
knows this thing. Put him there. It doesn't matter how old, how many years it is or whatever. Allow that person to perform. That's what we need in Biafra.
Yeah.
Who can perform? That's why Buhari and whoever is there today, because they believe this is the. Thank you, Mazi. Thank you, Mazi. I'm very happy.
Thank you. Welcome to the program.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you. God bless you, Mr. Sam. Hey, I wanted to advise something. If it is possible for you to open a drone branch in the Biafra, because like the military, they can use drone to spot them very well. Like the Fulani hideout, they can use drone to check where they are. Drone is maybe 1,000 euros. You can get a drone that can use it to fetch out all those Fulani thieves.
All right, noted. But we are talking about question and answer today.
Huh?
We are talking about question and answer today. Do you have any question to ask?
The question I wanted to ask just about this Niger Republic, because the Fulani also, they wanted to now they are focusing on Niger, because Niger is the second richest country in Africa. So Fulani, they are making a big move now. And the Fulani is having problem in Mali. They have a problem also in Guinea. Almost the whole Africa, Fulani have problem. So that is all I wanted to say for now. Thank you. God bless.
All right, thank you. All right, I want to acknowledge Blessing Wilson. Thank you very much for your super chat. We appreciate you, Blessing. We appreciate you, Mary Life. We love you, Simon, and God bless. Thank you very much for your super chat. We appreciate you. I want to appreciate Chooks Onyebule. Thank you very much for your super chat. We appreciate you. Chinasa Love. I appreciate you for your super chat. God bless you and protect you and our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Thank you very much, Chinasa Love. All right, welcome to the program. Good evening from here.
Hey, Master Simon, how are you?
I'm all right. Good evening.
Good evening. This is Chigozie calling you from Canada.
Chigozie, you're welcome.
I just want to bring your attention to something, and that is in preparation to next year March. I want you to know something. When you hear Nigeria and the man in Asrock ranting and saying all these things, the truth of the matter is that if they will do anything anywhere in Nigeria now, their main forces are going to be machinery, because already the Nigerian armed forces are so much depleted to the point that there are no more personnel, but they don't want to make it public.
Of course, we know.
They are already using machinery. Most of the people in the southeast, they are all people from different places.
Yes.
So I just want you to also put that into consideration.
Yes.
Because most of all these things, I saw a video today, I think it's Facebook or somewhere. That is the person that posted that thing paid a very close attention. And that was a soldier. I don't know what event that was, but the problem is that they were singing Nigerian national anthem, and that soldier was sitting down. And that can never happen. That person can never be a Nigerian soldier, and the national anthem of Nigeria was being sung on that occasion. A soldier was sitting down. My brother, have you heard where that kind of thing happened? That's an indication that this person is not, number one, is not a Nigerian. Number two, he doesn't even understand what they were doing.
Yes.
So I want you to please understand that those that they are going to use and they are using now are machinery.
Yeah, we know, of course. And of course, we know. We see them every day. We know. That's why the man in Asarok was complaining bitterly of what happened. So we know.
Yes, that is it. So whatever we are doing, I want you to put it into consideration. And another thing I also want to re-emphasize, I've said it to you before on this program. Somebody that said earlier made mention of it. The dangerous threat we have, I said it before, in this struggle are not Fulani. Our greatest enemy is within the IPOB family, within Southeast, and the others. These are the greatest threats we have. For example, the first people that will attack whatever move that will be made are people within the struggle, either within IPOB or all other states. There is one in the Niger Delta that said Busafari. There is one that left IPOB that said he was exercising on him. And all these other people, there is one that is in Owerri, that is there, that have already sold out. Combined with the foolish governors and politicians, these are the people that we must have a very strategic plan to deal with, to handle their treacherous acts. Fulani will not be the biggest threat.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. I have just 4 minutes left. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. Welcome to the program. Good evening from here.
Good
evening.
Please, Master, there's something is bothering me. I wanted to ask you, please.
Go ahead.
First, before I ask you this question, Master, if you look at in Biafra land now, You see that now we don't have people again. Our man is gone. Now my question now is there any law when Biafra come that will stop our women to stop killing our children for abortion? Because why I'm asking you this thing, in our land, we call our Biafra land motherland, not fatherland. And those blood that our women are wasting in the name of abortion, because Europe carries all manner of drugs that give us in the name of family planning. And women are killing children every day. They throw children away, and tomorrow they still go to the church, read the same Bible that God said, "I shall not kill." This is the most important thing that destroys our land, but we don't want to look into this thing. Is there any law that will guide this thing, this abortion? That is what I wanted to ask.
There are some questions that is not necessary to ask now. It's not all these questions we're going to address. Abortion law is a very controversial and a very sensitive law, and that law has been tearing America apart, as you can see. This one will come and say, let us have abortion law. This one will come, this one will say Republican, they will say, let us not have abortion law. So, it is a very sensitive issue that, somehow does not actually affect the country itself. So it is more of morality. It is more of the morality of the citizens and of the country. So it has to do with either the religious part of it, and it is a very sensitive one. So we need to address it when we get Biafra. People will now sit together and vote either for abortion or not for abortion. So it is not issue we are going to start addressing now, because it is not the headache.
Okay, my brother, please, I have one more question.
Go ahead.
Please, I watched one video, one of our brother and Abatonia make. Inside that broadcast, I pick one thing. He said that during the time of their own problem between Nigeria, that all the senators withdraw from Nigeria. They stop going to meetings in Enugu. I have been thinking about that thing. I said, our problem is not our governor. Our problem is our senators. There are people who can give the mandate from now to December. If they cannot resign, then they stay in Abuja. Because once they go to that Abuja meeting, what they believe in Nigeria.
I don't understand.
Who can give them mandate from now to December, resign, or you stay in Abuja?
You mean the governors or the senators?
No, the senators. I mean the senators, not governor.
Well, they are not the main. If they resign now, who are they going to hand over to? Huh?
I believe that when they stop going to meetings in Abuja, which means they are not part of Nigeria any longer. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm asking you.
So that's and then I'm asking you now. So if they resign, you say they should resign. Resign doesn't mean they should stop going to meeting. You say they should. If they resign, who are they going to hand over to? That is not our concern. That is not our concern now. They can do whatever they are doing. When we get to that bridge, we are going to cross it. So you cannot ask them to resign and hand over to Fulani.
Okay, man. What of the time our leader is telling the army to resign and all those things? Is it not the same thing?
It is not the same thing.
It is not serving Nigeria.
No, it is not the same thing. You said the representative, those representing us, the governors, they should resign. So if they resign, who are they going to hand over to?
Okay. I'm just like, thank you very much.
They should wait when we have activated our liberation in full force. It will handle itself like that. So you understand?
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. Okay, my time is up, and I'm going to answer one more question. Hello. Welcome to the program.
Yeah,
I have a question to ask, please.
Go ahead.
Yes. Now you have prepared everything concerning coming of Biafra. And my question now is, what of if our leader, is released and tell you now that if you can allow election to hold, so what are you going to do?
When we get to that bridge, we'll cross it.
Okay, good. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. Thank you very much for calling. Please, I will beg you people to stop calling me immediately I end this broadcast. Not whenever I finish the broadcast, the call will still continue to come. It has made me to block some people. When I busy the call and I busy it again and I busy it again and the person continue to call, I will have no other option than to block that person. So, and some people have been blocked because of that. So when you call somebody and somebody busy the call, please, especially when I am not on a live. When I busy the call, you know that I am busy in the call and I am not ready to talk. So if you continue to call, I will have no other option than to block you. So on this note, I say, may God bless you. May God bless Biafra. May God bless Oduduwa. May God bless the Middle Belt. May God bless Amazonia. May God bless Mazen Amdekano, Sunday Igboho. May God bless Eastern Security Network, Awomada. And may God bless the government in exile. And may God bless all our alliances and those who are working with us and those who are still coming to join us nearest future to make sure that Biafra is liberated and restored in 2023. May God bless all of you. May God bless all Autopilot, IPOB media team, and all that. May God bless you. Please disregard anybody that are trying to gain your attention, to get your attention by writing about Samonekba. Jump and pass. When you see them, jump and pass. Do not respond, because once they write about Samonekba, you are going to react. That's what they are looking for. Jump and pass. If you see them, jump and pass. When you see those people covering their face, those criminals calling themselves anonymous, jump them pass. We have destroyed their business and they will never rise again. When you see those shouting on Radio Biafra, jump and pass. They are all gone. They are all gone and they are gone for good. Thank you. From here, from me is
Nigerian entrepreneur Mustafa Gajibo has been converting minibuses into electric vehicles at his workshop in Borno State. He was a mechanical engineering student at the University of Maiduguri, but he put his education on hold to pursue his dream. Our team visited his workshop and he takes us through his journey.
On the roads of Maiduguri, Borno State, northeast Nigeria, electric minibuses are seen amidst petrol-powered tricycles and cars. This green and white made-in-Nigeria minibus plies the Baga Road, Kasua, and local passengers are seen going aboard as they can hardly tell its difference from other vehicles running on petrol. The electric minibuses are the handwork of Nigerian entrepreneur Mustafa Gajibo, who says he has a passion in renewable energy, one that was conflicting with his university education.
With the nature of the work of my dad as of that time, he is a civil servant, a federal government worker. So he often gets transferred to so many states. So I started my primary school in Mubi, where he was transferred to Bauchi, where I continued my primary school. And from Bauchi State, we came down to Borno, Maiduguri, where I completed my primary school and also joined the secondary school here in Maiduguri, and also completed my secondary school here in Maiduguri. Then I joined the University of Maiduguri, mechanical engineering. And then I started, and then after some time, I think up to 300 level, then I developed so much passion in the renewable energy sector, where it always conflicts with my education. So I decided to drop out of the school and focus more on the renewable energy business that I'm doing now.
Mustafa Gajibo is the managing director of Phoenix Renewables, a company that designs solar-powered cars. He says he has always had a drive for innovation, technical creativity, and renewable energy. It was this drive that made him identify the problems in his immediate community.
The whole problems that the whole world is facing, not only Nigeria, but not only Africa also, but the whole world. We are having issues of shortage in electricity, that's energy. We are having a lot of problem when it comes to mobility also. Prices of fuel are going up every day. And then also prices of transportation is also going up. And another concern is the climate change also. You know, the vehicles and the energy sources we are using mostly are fossil fuel powered. So they are causing so much damage to our environment, and I believe that someone somewhere have to come up with solutions to solve all these problems.
But Mustafa's journey did not just begin with these EVs, electric vehicles. As an innovative thinker, he identified a potential problem and came up with a solution.
After going into the renewable energy sector, we have been building lithium batteries, storage systems, for home, factories, residentials, and even bigger industrial usage too. So when we mastered the lithium-ion batteries, and we now saw the possibility of using them to even build electric vehicles for mobility, because that's the same type of batteries that are being used for mobility and others. So, and with the current situation that our country and the whole world at large is facing when it comes to mobility, you could see that prices of transportation is just going up every day due to the high pump price. And the issue of, in our country today, we are having issue of subsidy removal and all these issues that might come up after the full subsidy removal. So I was just wondering, how will life be when the subsidy on fuel is fully removed? Even today, transportation is costing high. So you could imagine when the transportation fares, how they will rise when the subsidy removal is being put into effect. So in my own way, I'm coming up with solutions so as to solve these problems before they even arise. So that's why we went into building of electric vehicles for commercial use and even personal use.
In 2018, Mustafa and his team created converting petrol-powered tricycles to electric, and by 2021, they could already design and build one from scratch. In the same year, they went into minibuses, their recent work which has now made them famous.
The first electric tricycle we built was 2018. That was the first model of the tricycle. You could see it in our workshop here. That's the first prototype was built 2018, and subsequently we built many more after that.
With a mission to curb pollution, increase energy supply, solve mobility issues arising from the increased cost of fuel, transportation, and the anticipated fuel subsidy removal, Mustafa's decision to delve into electric vehicles was a one-stop solution to all these problems. For a hardware startup, getting materials to work with, whether locally designed or imported, is one hurdle. Putting them together to fit properly is another, and Mustafa tells us how they did it.
When we started the electric tricycle, after deploying some for test runs, and we took some of the samples to the Nigerian Automotive Design and Development Council for further testing and approvals, which we subsequently got. Then as a company which is driven by technology, and innovations, we now went into design and building of also electric buses. We first started by converted models, which we get petrol-powered vehicles at SKDs, that's semi-knockdowns. Then we bring them down, assemble them, retrofit them, and also feed them with electric motors and motor controllers and lithium-ion batteries so as to make it fully electric. We first did the prototype of the bus, that's early 2021. That's early last year. We did the first prototype of the converted mini buses, and after testing, it could cover a distance of up to 120 to 150 kilometers on one charge. Then looking at that, then we moved into building of up to 10 units, which we deployed as a pilot scheme and also a proof of concept to show the whole world that electric vehicles are possible and they are also commercially viable. So we deployed up to 10 units, which are currently working in the city of Maiduguri. We've also, to make the whole electric mobility possible also, we developed a solar power charging station so as to charge the vehicles, and also making it the first solar powered commercialized charging station for EVs in Nigeria. The main components in an electric vehicle first is the electric motor, which drives the whole vehicle. Then also the storage system, which is the battery, which powers the electric motor. And also in between, you're going to have the motor controller, which controls the flow of the current to the electric motors. And also we're going to have some wire harness, and also the retrofitting of the screens and other gadgets, and including the battery management systems, and many more gadgets like cooling systems, which are being locally designed here.
The converted minibuses can transport 8 passengers, including the driver, but that wasn't enough for Mustafa and his team. They realized that they could increase the efficiency and sustainability of the vehicles if they built theirs from the scratch. So they did just that. A 12-seater bus that can cover up to 200 kilometers on a single charge.
The first tricycle is a 4-seater tricycle that can cover a distance of up to 200 kilometers on one charge, and it has a loading capacity of up to 700 kg. It has some battery packs inside, which you get it fully charged, and when it is fully charged, it covers a distance of 150 to 200 kilometers. Actually, after testing the converted models of the vehicles, we find out that we could do more. We could increase the efficiency if these vehicles were actually designed and built by us, because you know, petrol-powered vehicles were not designed to be powered using electric motors and batteries. So the weight and other things were not put into consideration when building these vehicles. So as a company which is driven by technology and innovation, and with a very good research and development team, we sat down and come up with a design to start building these vehicles fully from the scratch. We have built a 12-seater bus which can cover a distance of up to 200 kilometers on 1 hour, and we also put into consideration a lot of challenges that we got at the converted models, which we tried as much as possible to develop more technology that will suit the need of the people. So this bus has a seating capacity of 12, can cover a distance of 200 kilometers on one charge. It is fully air conditioned. It's even having latest features of vehicles like voice command system, electric doors, and many more features that you can find in 2021 or 2022 levels.
Just like many hardware startups building in Nigeria, the challenges Mustafa and his team face are not too different. Access to funding, technical manpower, materials to build with, and even foreign currency shortages are some of them.
You know, this is something that has never been done in this part of the world. So you're not going to find it easy to source for raw materials to build such technologies. But you know, as we are evolving all the time, we are looking at possibilities and ways so as to increase our local content, because we could not reach a sustainable economy as far as we are depending on importing most of the raw materials we use in building our technologies.
So far, they have built 50 electric tricycles, which are located in different locations across the country, including the University of Abuja and in Lokoja, Kogi State. 10 units of the electric minibuses are also plying the roads on Maiduguri for the pilot scheme. And for now, Mustafa has one charging station powered by solar for the electric vehicles.
Not that much of a big deal. If you wrote the exam and you lose your certificates, definitely they will have another one. You can just call them up or email them and get it.
Yes, in the story, he say he's done that already and that he's been issued with something fresh. I like you said, he's saying it's politics, but for the rest of us, we think it's very important. We think the certificates or the educational qualification of the people who potentially are going to rule us is very important. We're talking about, for instance, this APC regime that seems not to be very concerned about education. All the students are at home and all of that. That is worrisome. You know, and that is that's apart from frustrating, it's also scandalous. So you need to know that the people who are going to rule are people who are concerned about their education. First, that they actually went to some schooling and that they can, you know, rightly say these are the certificates, which you and I in Kechi, I mean, these are things we take for granted. We all have a certificate. Why this is even becoming an issue now, it's quite worrisome. The people, you just assume that these people have this basic, you know, qualifications already, but yes, according to Okowa, politics is in the mix, and in his own case, you know, the issues surrounding him, you know, with some of his traducers saying that he should be dropped, the article tweeting yesterday that he's not dropping him, he's reposed some confidences on him. Some people say it's one of the conditions given by Wiki that, look, I'm not going to parley with Atiku unless he drops Okowa. So Okowa is in the story, Okowa is in the mix, but we've discussed in the past here that probably it's because he's a level-headed person, already is talking about what he has done for education in Delta State. Maybe those are some of the things that, you know, propel Atiku in picking him. But the papers this morning are watched with stories of the crisis between Atiku and Wike, and at the heart of it is the problem of Okowa, his choice as Atiku's running mate. That seems to be one of the conditions Wike is now giving for any form of peace.
Well, Emmanuel, in the UK, the British Prime Minister is on the brink, as all the papers would say. Two top ministers of the government have stepped down. What next for Boris Johnson?
Emmanuel, your favorite PM.
Yes, he is, and he's also, remember, as our colleague calls him, the cat with the 9 lives. We don't know whether this is the brink, but certainly he's at the brink, he's at the edge. Is he going to tail over and this time around this is going to be end game, like one of the papers is saying? Is this the end game? Is this the end of the road for Boris? We're yet to see. He has a way of bouncing back. Already yesterday he's announced a replacement, and he talks his way through most of this thing. What's going to happen to him next now? Are we going to see? But whether he leaves or he doesn't, he's lost considerable ground. Those ministers are some of the closest to him, and for them to have slammed him like that, it's for one of the papers saying it's end game. Looks like one, but again, Kenneth, to your question, we're here to see. It's an interesting development, and we'll see how Boris, walks his way out of this once again.
Well, Emmanuel, let me get you back to Punch. 3 interesting stories, if you can briefly run through them. 1, Fidelity Bank. Fidelity Bank takes over free discos. FG intervenes. Then you have here It says, State Chairman reject Wike Cam's anti-IU plot. Looks like PDP is really getting into a mess. COVID-19 cases jumped by 67% in 2 weeks.
And then when you see the COVID story, your first reaction is that, really? We are back here again? I mean, punch led with that so boldly. And COVID has not gone anywhere. It's not gone on holiday. We still have it here with us. I mean, that is interesting, and that's something we need to, because we're already getting to a point where we're even saying some of the, max mandates and some of the protocols around we're already even getting used to not doing some of those again. And then suddenly, now the experts are saying that, no, COVID has gone nowhere, it's here. So I think that's troubling. And then for Wike is actually giving out conditions. His team, for instance, he's saying that he will not even negotiate directly. He will not parley. One of the papers, I think, The Nation, saying that they will not parley directly with Atiku. Atiku should talk to his team. That is how far this thing has sunk in the relationship. And with us party men saying that IU must go, and they gave their condition, their reason. They say, look, you can't have the presidential candidate and the chairman from the north. And that IU himself had actually said he was going to step down as soon as a presidential candidate from the north comes. It's the way they do their thing. So people are saying that you should honor your position and honor this time-tested tradition of not having both the presidential candidate and the chairman from the same place. But the larger picture is Wike and the peace process, or the appeasement process that is on. Is Wike going to cave in and agree, or will Atiku be the first to bat an eyelid and say, okay, fine, I'm dropping Okoa, or for instance, Ayuk can resign? Those are the conditions Wike is practically side is presenting. So everyone is waiting for Atiku. He's running off his course in school. He's having his master's degree defenses, and then as soon as he's back, we'll all be watching to see what he does with all this when he's presented with all these conditions from Wike.
Definitely, Manuel. You sounded so shocked about COVID-19 jumping 67% in 2 weeks. But when you relax all the restrictions, there's no testing, people are not getting vaccinated, people are not isolating when they test positive, definitely it's bound to jump. Thank you so much for joining us on the press preview this morning. Daybreak returns in a moment with sports and entertainment. Stay with us.
The Zenith Better Life promo is back, and it's bigger and better. You could be one of 20 lucky customers to win 150,000 Naira every 2 weeks from now till January 31st, 2023. To qualify, simply open a Zenith Bank account and maintain a minimum balance of 5,000 Naira. For more information, visit www.zenithbank.com/betterlife. Zenith Bank, in your best interest.
What? Now this is more like it, right? We want the best quality ingredients when we cook. But when it comes to salt, we care less. We say salt is salt. Well, I care about my salt. It goes into my food and my body. So I use Dangote salt.
Dangote salt is high-quality salt that is refined and iodized
to give great taste to my meals and also to support my family's health and well-being. It's time to care about your salt.
Staying with us, you're watching Daybreak. In sports, Novak Djokovic fought back from 2 sets down to reach the Wimbledon semi-final and preserve his remarkable centre court record. The defending champion, who's bidding for a 4th consecutive title, looked on the brink of a sensational defeat when Italian youngster Yannick Sinner let 2 love. But for the 7th time in his career, 20-time Grand Slam, Djokovic overturned a 2-set deficit to win 5-7, 2-6, 6-3, 6-2, 6-2. The Serbian will play Britain's Cameron Norrie next. Norrie reached the Wimbledon semi-finals by fighting back to beat David Goffin in a memorable 5-set thriller, which left the home fans celebrating.
Okay, in 4 sets to the
Exciting match to be part of. Not that exciting for me the first two sets, but after that I kind of played a new match, to be honest. From the start of the third, I played the three really very solid, very high quality tennis sets. From the very beginning of the third, when I broke his serve early, I felt that I found my rhythm and tempo on the shots, and it was two different kind of matches, and I felt completely different from the start of the third.
Well, tennis maverick Nick Kyrgios is set to appear in court in Australia next month in relation to an allegation of common assault. Police said it follows an incident in December 2021 which Kyrgios' barrister says was in the context of a domestic relationship. Kyrgios is scheduled to appear at the Australia Capital Territory Magistrates Court on the 2nd of August. He is due back on the tennis court on Wednesday, where he will play Chile's Cristian Garin for a place in the Wimbledon semi-finals.
Some entertainment news in Rio. Some of the most beautiful young dancers are performing, but their futures are under threat due to underfunding. In Manhos, a favela in the north of the Brazilian city, 410 students between the ages of 6 and 29 take free ballet classes. Tomisin Delano has more.
Dancing in the streets. Ballet lessons in the favelas of Rio have these young dancers dreaming of moving from the back streets to the Bolshoi. But for these ballerinas to keep their art alive, they'll need funding.
In this current situation, what we receive today, we can only keep going until the end of the year perhaps, and even then, only with some administrative cuts in staff and reduced operating hours.
The dancers' home is the Ballet Manguinhos, located at the entrance to a southern Rio favela. The goal of this group is to provide hope through dance, an alternative to the harsh realities of their environment.
Our biggest mission is that they leave here as citizens who understand their role in society, that they don't become another statistic in the favela. They need to understand what is the place that they can occupy, to have the willpower to enter a public university and to have whatever they want.
During the height of the COVID pandemic, tragedy struck the ballet studio. The association's founder, Diana Ferreira, died of COVID-19 in January 2021, and just months later, it lost funding. For some of the girls, it's more than just a dance.
Ballet helped me a lot because I had depression. For 2 years, I tried to commit suicide, and ballet helped me a lot to empower myself, to have my place to speak, to understand myself as a person.
Despite the challenges, no one is giving up on their dreams. Ballet is helping provide these dancers with an oasis of calm in a turbulent city. Tomisi Delano for Arise News.
And the writer and creator of The Wire says he almost killed off one of the most beloved characters on the series in the first 5 seasons of the show. David Simon made the comment in an interview celebrating the 20th anniversary of the gritty HBO drama. He said he was planning to have Detective Shakima Greggs, played by Sonia Sohn, die in a police shootout with drug dealers. But a network executive stepped in. The Wire, the complete series, is available on digital and DVD and is streaming on HBO Max.
Where she's shot, which I think is episode 12, 112, she was supposed to die. And when the scripts came out, it was Carolyn Strauss at HBO who really adored the character and thought the character had miles to go still, and urged us not to. And, she was the head of programming. And, I may consider myself to be a storyteller, but I'm not an idiot. The head of programming tells you something, you listen. So it became that she was wounded severely, and we marched on from there. It had nothing to do with Sonia's portrayal. It wasn't. We killed characters left and right because of what we thought it would do for story.
I remember Sonia Kima was going to be killed in the fourth or fifth episode, I think, and partly because David said, "I don't know how to write women," and he was very honest about it. And plenty of writers wouldn't be. He said, "I'm scared about writing for women. I'm a man. I don't really." And I remember who was the HBO executive? What's her name? Brilliant woman. Carolyn Strauss. She and Sonia went to David and said, "There's no way you are killing the main female character in this show in episode 4. There is no way." And, none of the actors were able to say that to the writers because they were king. But he listened. Thank God he did.
I'm glad I was talked out of it, but that's what happened. And yes, I probably made that joke. I think it probably made that joke, but it was a joke. I mean, I felt like it's our responsibility to write everybody, but I think it was such a male-dominated show, and we had written her as very bluntly as sort of as a lesbian on the force, and it's like even when we got a female cop, we wrote her a little bit male.
Natalie Portman, Tessa Thompson, and Taika Waititi have attended the premiere of 4: Love and Thunder in London. The latest in the Marvel series sees Chris Hemsworth reprising the role of Thor, along with Thompson as King Valkyrie and Portman as Jane Foster/Mighty Thor. The trial, along with Waititi as Korg, must battle Gore, the God Butcher, to stop him from destroying all gods. 4: Love and Thunder will be out in UK cinemas on Thursday.
It's so fun to get to be part of something that people are so passionate about. I mean, the fans really help create the film alongside us, and it's amazing to have something with so much passion around it.
And it's kind of your premiere tonight because you're the only 4 here.
I know. I got, Chris is busy in Australia, so yeah, I get to be the main Thor in town. We did have many points that we were all in the gym together, which was pretty fun, and also very helpful that Chris and Tessa had really been through it before and could kind of advise me as to their tips on the nutrition or the recovery.
It's a huge relief, especially after 2 years of not being able to go to the movies and just being stuck at home, and to be able to come out to a premiere again after it's been years since I've seen something like this, and it's freaking me out, but I'm also really happy about it, and I'm just really happy that people get to see a movie in a cinema again. That's the only way I want to work. I don't want to work with any. I don't want to go to work and stress about having to work with someone's ego. All of these people are family, they're all friends, and we get each other, and that's the only way I want to work.
Yeah, people are excited. It's so fun. It's a little daunting. I really want fans to enjoy it, you know what I mean? So I think even when we were making the film, we were like, oh God, how do we make it better? When we were making the first one, we sort of thought no one would let us ever work again. We sort of all felt like, well, this is our swan song. So I think to come back and make it again, we're like, oh God, is this our swan song? It's so great. I mean, I really love playing this character.
Well, that's it for us today here on Daybreak. Up next, it's the unbeatable trio on the morning show. You would not want to miss that. Every moment matters here on the Rise News. I am Kichi Nana.
I am Kenneth Warmer.
And I am Ndi Amogu, thanking you for watching.
Guy, Ben, make I run use your phone, Jare.
Guy, where did you do your glow line now?
Baba, calm down now. Not be this NIN wahala, they give me stress. They don't even block my lines.
But my glow NIN link is simple pass now. Yes, simple. Just dial *109#. Tell where to do. See, take in my phone.
What if I don't get NIN before?
Simple. Just go any glow word now. Once you go get your NIN, yes.
Guy, I get plenty guys who don't link their NIN. Until now, their phone still get blocked.
Tell them when they go any glow word now. Once they go block their line. Yes, now.
I know I'll make I use your own phone for now. I go start my own later.
Guy, talk plenty talk. You know, so when I link my line, Glow dash me plenty bonus. Yes, now. And when you link your own line, Glow will dash you up to 20,000 naira bonus.
20,000?
Yes, so 20,000 naira bonus.
Yo, fam, take your phone. Remove. Yeah, and I go link my NIN.
This bonus now for both new and existing customers, so.
Morning, Rufai.
Morning, Chunda. How are you?
Just the two of us this morning. I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Very well, thank you. We're missing Dr. Abati.
We really are.
And you know you're looking sparkling, so I
Thank you. Thank you, kind sir.
Yeah.
So let's get started. Good morning. You're watching the morning show here on Arise News. I'm Tundu Abiola.
And I'm Rufai Senior. We've got a great show lined up for you for the next 3 hours. So sit back, relax, and let's kickstart your day because the morning show begins right now.
Talk about a third force to challenge the All Progressives Congress, APC, and the People's Democratic Party, PDP, gained momentum after the defection of former Anambra State Governor Peter Obi from the PDP to the Labour Party, and that of former Kano State Governor Rabiu Kwankwaso, who also moved from the PDP to the new Nigeria People's Party, NNPP. Both former PDP members currently represent their respective parties as the standard bearer ahead of the 2023 presidential election. When the news about a possible merger started making the rounds, the most common question being asked was who will step down for the other. However, Kwankwaso has said he can't be a running mate to Peter Obi, and the Labour candidate will be better as his running mate in the coming presidential election. Joining us on the show later this morning to discuss the LP and NNPP alliance, which has been put off, is Peter Obi, Labour Party presidential candidate.
We'll just catch up on news making headlines across the globe. Our dependable Road to Sodiri will be giving us Africa Business Update, while Michael Wilson will give us an update on global business outlook. Also, Adeso Omora will be updating us on COVID-19 pandemic around the world, and Aaron Akirijala will be taking us through sporting activities across the globe. We'll also review today's newspaper with Arise News analyst Emmanuel Afeni. It's going to be all that and a whole lot more today on The Morning Show. All right, welcome back to The Morning Show right here on the Rise News channel. It's now time to take a look at news stories making headlines around the globe. A few people died yesterday, while 2 others sustained minor injuries when bandits attacked the advanced team of security guards, protocol, and media officers ahead of President Muhammadu Buhari's Salah trip to his hometown in Daura, Katsina State. The presidency has since described the dastardly act as a sad and unwelcome development. This is as bandits again yesterday ambushed and killed an assistant commissioner of police, ACP Aminu Omar Dayi, in charge of Dusumana area in command in Katsina. following a fierce gun duel. In a release last night by presidential spokesman Malanga Bashir, the presidency disclosed that a few people died while 2 persons who sustained injuries during the attack were already receiving treatment. But other personnel, staff and vehicles made it safely to Daura, the statement added. Relatedly, suspected terrorists last night attacked the Kuje Correctional Center in Abuja. The Kuje Medium's prison facility came under attack at about 10:20 p.m. when what was suspected to be a high-caliber bomb went off, followed by 2 more explosions and ensuing sporadic gunfire that sent residents scampering for safety. Although there was no official confirmation yet, it was suspected that terrorists had launched a ferocious attack on the prison, which triggered a firefight with security forces. The staff of the prison reportedly confirmed the attack, saying that the attackers came from the back of the prison. A security report issued earlier had alerted the prison officials of possible attack of the medium prison. A lot to talk about this morning, Tundu. Sad ones.
It's really, truly devastating, and may the souls of those who suddenly and violently lost their lives in these attacks find rest. It's just a repetitive phenomena, isn't it? People getting killed, murdered in cold blood in this country. With regards to what happened in Katsina with the convoy of the president being ambushed, it's not the first time that bandits or terrorists have taken the opportunity of a presidential visit to his home state to make a statement. Because I do believe, obviously the investigations are ongoing, but I don't think this group of terrorists accidentally happened upon this advanced convoy of the president. I think it must have been planned, which suggests that there might be a mole. A lot of investigations need to continue in this regard, but the point to be stressed here is the message that they are sending across, which is that nobody is safe and that this has been tolerated in Nigeria. This message has been coming loud and clear. This is not the first attack when the president is visiting his home state. So this is no accident. That is the president's home state, really on the eve of Salah. So it's a slap in the face to the federal government, quite frankly, and a slap in the face to the citizens of this country, that none of us are safe and we can all just be picked off at will at any time. And then we now come to this other audacious attack on Kuje prison. Not for the first time. I recall a similar incident like 6 years ago, but from the current reports that we're hearing now, this attack is far worse, because what's been reported is that 150 terrorists, criminals and what have you have escaped from the prison. That is extremely alarming. Initial reports also suggest that high-profile prisoners such as the former super cop Abakari are still in situ. He did not escape, but it's so horrific to imagine this another failure of intelligence, because they were warned, security agencies were warned that this attack would happen, and really nothing was done. The attack did happen, and then we're now going to have some kind of reaction, people scrambling around trying to rearrest, and we're going to have the usual people coming out, the usual suspects are going to come out to issue dire warnings to these escapees, saying you better come back within 24 hours or we're going to get you. And then nobody gets gotten. So it just looks yet again like a slap in the face of our government, like egg on the face of our government. The federal government of Nigeria is looking clownish at this point because of the repetitive nature of these attacks, the repetitive nature of the complete ineptitude in bringing the people who are guilty of these attacks to justice. And it's just quite sickening at this point.
You know, when you were saying some suspect will come out and say, come back to the prison, we're counting 1, 2, 3, felt like playing hide and seek. Come back 1, come back 2, come back 3, and like you're using your words, we've become clownish as a nation. It's sad, it's sickening, words fail me. And you know, it's even more debilitating when people make the arguments that things have improved as regards security in the country. I ask, in the past in this country, did we ever have incidents where they attacked the presidential convoy or an advance convoy? Correct me if I'm wrong.
No.
I ask again, insecurity is improving so much, but we have killings. In the Northeast alone, close to 1,000 people have died in the first half of the year. Many attacks. Increasingly, we have priests being attacked now. So it's as if you wear a cassock now, you're in trouble in this country. We've got everybody being attacked. Now, the presidential convoy being attacked. And you see, It's the way we even react to things like this. I mean, I would have thought that we would have stopped all of this. Because I don't want to believe that these bandits are more powerful than the Nigerian states. They are not. I don't want to believe that they have the monopoly of violence over the Nigerian states. And this is why I will call on the Nigerian states to show that it has more monopoly of violence over these bandits. We cannot have bandits run amok. And that's what's happening everywhere. And they even have audacity to attack the presidential convoy. It's not done. And when you see that happening, like you said, it's a statement. It's an indication that we are so bold we can make a go for any convoy in this country. The other day, somebody was telling me that Rufai, it's even bad now when you have a convoy with you because it attracts attack. So they want to go head on. And that's the country we've built. I would like to give tributes, because I'd like to balance things out. I'd like to give tributes to the assistant police commissioner that was killed. I hear it was a nightmare to terrorists and bandits. And he's a true hero this morning. That lost his life. He lost his life in a gun duel, trying to save the nation. It's people like that still make us believe in the police force, that are committed to this country. And I hear that when he died, there was celebration in the camp of the bandits. So he must have given them a tough time. So this morning, he's passed. My commiserations to his family, but I will not mourn him. I would celebrate him. Because in things like this, when a nation is under siege, when you see true heroes that lay down their life for their country, it's good you celebrate them. So I celebrate the Assistant Commissioner of Police this morning. And I thank him for all his service to the country. But we need to do more. And concerning all of this, I'd like to quote the book of Proverbs 14:34 this morning. That says, righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. And I'll quote it again. Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. You see, what will exalt Nigeria is when we do things rightly. When we tackle the security situation rightly. When all hands are on deck to tackle the problems. I mean, like you said, people can't just attack a presidential convoy. There must be information prior to this time that the convoy was coming through. There must be a mole somewhere. And the CDS did confirm that, in fact, if there's any mole, we're trying to sweep them out. So what can we do to stop even having moles or reduce the number, even if we can't stop them totally? And it goes back to righteousness. When we see these moles, do we put them out of the force? Do we take care of them or push them out? Or we leave them because the interest suits us? Righteousness exalts a nation. Righteousness, when the government ought to do for the people, did they do it? What have we done to tackle poverty in this country? It makes it so easy for anybody to carry a weapon. The money is given to local government officials. What do they do with it? Did they help the people? Did they clear the drainage? Did they build hospitals in there? Righteousness exalts a nation. Sin is a reproach. Because the offshoot of the unrighteousness consistent over the years, and it's not only this government, it is over the years in Nigeria. Albeit since the days where we discovered crude oil, where we had so much to spend and corruption started. It is the sin that is a reproach that we're seeing the offshoot now. That we can't have accountability in our governance. We can't take care of internal bandits. So what if we had an external aggression? How are we going to take care of it?
Well, we won't.
That's what it shows. So we can't secure our homeland, next to nothing homeland security. And all of this points towards that verse I quoted. Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach. And this is a word for everybody out there. Let's do things rightly. Let's help build our country. Let's shun sin. Let's shun all the terrible, terrible things that we do that could be inimical to the growth and development of our country. And as I close, I'd also say this, like Dwight Eisenhower said. He said, a leadership that values privilege over virtue will soon lose both the privilege and the virtue. A leadership that values privilege over virtue will soon lose both the privilege and the virtue. And that's what's happening. If we have a leadership class that just values the privilege of being in power, rather than the virtue of changing society and making society better, we'll soon lose that privilege. And also, then the virtue of society will be eroded. We live in a country where virtue is eroded in our society. And that's why leaders must start thinking of the next generation, not the next elections in Nigeria. I just hope we hear and we do what is right for our country. Righteousness exalts a nation. Sin is a reproach. We'll move to the next story this morning. Secretary General of the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, Mohammed Sanusi Barkindo, is dead. His death was announced on Twitter in the early hours of Wednesday by NNPC GMD Mele Kyari, who described his departure as a great loss to his immediate family, NNPC Nigeria, OPEC, and the global energy community. Though the cause of his death was not disclosed in the tweet, Barkindo was received at the State House on Tuesday by President Muhammadu Buhari, who lauded the outgoing OPEC Secretary General's 6-year tenure and described him as a worthy ambassador of Nigeria. Let's watch a video of him speaking just yesterday at the Oil and Gas Summit in Abuja before we come back for a chat.
400. The policy narrative in the run-up to and during COP26 last year in Glasgow, UK, was heavily distorted against hydrocarbons and divorced from the reality of the world's energy needs. Developing countries were urged to turn their backs on their own hydrocarbon assets, even though their right to sovereignty over the use of their natural resources is carved in the Paris Agreement's principle of equity in the context of sustainable development. Efforts to unwisely encourage divestment in the hydrocarbon industries are unfortunately becoming more pronounced lately. Population will increase by 20% from now to 2045, bringing the total number of human souls on this planet to about 9.5 billion people. 9.5 billion people. Secondly, the global economy as we know it today, despite all the challenges coming out of COVID, the size of the global economy will more than double by 2045. At the moment, the projection, it's about 125 trillion US dollars using the 2017 purchasing power parity. So this will be multiplied by 2 beyond in 2045. The combined effect of all this is increased demand of energy, all sources of energy, including oil and gas. Oil alone, we project, will grow by 28% between now and 2045. Therefore, this world will continue to be thirsty for energy, will continue to be thirsty for oil and gas. Therefore, it is ill-advised for anyone to suggest that to achieve our climate target of capping global temperature rises at 1.5 degrees Celsius, as we agreed in Paris, oil and gas should be discontinued. This is unscientific, it is not supported by the data and the facts. The biggest challenge before us is how should we deploy technology and appropriate policies to address carbon emissions, not about switching from one source of energy to another. Both conventional, non-conventional energy sources will be required for the foreseeable future. I therefore use the opportunity, the platform of the Nigeria Oil and Gas.
This is such shocking news. That was Mohamed Barkindo just yesterday advocating for the oil and gas industry, as he has been doing, serving and representing Nigeria since 1991, because he was in the United Nations delegation for climate change in 1991. Obviously, Secretary General of OPEC, before that, Acting Secretary General of OPEC, a distinguished Nigerian who passed on yesterday unexpectedly at 11 p.m., we're told last night, at the age of 63, very young to have passed on. We just pray that his soul finds eternal rest and may his family be comforted. He had a really distinguished career. I mean, he had qualifications from Ahmadu Bello University, University of Washington, Oxford University, and an honorary degree from Federal University of Technology in Yola, and he really did make his mark on the oil and gas industry. It's really shocking news.
I mean, really very shocking news. I think it's a sad blow to the energy sector all over the world. I mean, he was just completing his tenure, and a lot of people said a lot was awaiting him in the future, you know, in the advisory space for the energy sector in Nigeria, you know, at a critical time where there's a talk about transitioning, but there's also a big argument on the table that we can't leave the baby with the bathwater. We can't just move away from oil like that. And that's what I keep saying, that the likes of Alok Sharma and their climate change conference, which is all good. But if for anything, the war in Ukraine and Russia has shown us a lot, that you still need that proper energy mix. And for the foreseeable future, for the next, up to 2050, 2060, oil is still going to make a dominant part, because it's gradually where you will ease things off. Yeah, some nations have gone faster than the other, you know, in terms of the transition to cleaner forms of energy, the likes of Norway and the likes. You know, Norway has got, I think in the year 2021, over 84% of the newly registered cars in Norway were electric vehicles. And some people will make arguments of countries like Norway, but the counter argument is countries like Nigeria still needs an energy mix. We're still here. We still need to sell our petrol to be able to develop. And those were the arguments, you know, Barkindo always made in his lifetime, which is very sad now. God, you know, rest his soul. That countries like us still need that energy to be able to survive. We still need to sell our oil and gas. We still need to burn our oil, possibly. We still need to use our gas to fire our factories and the likes. We still need to industrialize. And probably we still need to even look at coal, you know, as a source of energy.
Of course we do.
Yeah, we still need to look at coal, because we are not at the level of those developed countries. And the reality is quite different.
And they are going back to coal, aren't they?
And they are going back to coal. Look at what is happening in Russia and Ukraine. Germany is going back to coal. They've opened their coal-fired plants again. And so they still have these things, you know, on the side, and they can always go back to it. And those were the very fair arguments, you know, he made. Astute, I must have to say, technocrat, you know, made the right, you know, noises while it was in OPEC, you know, made all the right arguments for Nigeria. You know, it was pretty much under his terrain that we had this new quota system, you know, that has characterized the world now as it is, as regards, you know, putting out crude oil to the market because of the crisis here and there. And, you know, during his time, you know, it took a tough stance as regards, you know, energy policies in parts of Africa and other parts of the world. And that was what he stood for. And it's very sad that we're losing such a, you know, great thinker and technocrat at a point like this in time. And most importantly, you know, God rest his God rest his soul, and God be with his family at a point in time like this. And it is a big loss to the energy sector. Big loss, I must have to say. And not at a time like this. Not at a time like this, where decisions need to be made as regards energy mix in Nigeria. Not at a time like this. That's all on the headlines. It's time for a short break. When we return, Adesua bringing us COVID-19 updates. Stay with us.
I just want flex, don't need stress in my life. Avoid the yawa, I no want queue for the bank. Sharp, I don't open an account. digital bank, we get the power now vote. I pay my bills easily, I'm running things like a boss. Collect a loan with no collateral. Vote is the answer. Vote is the way. Vote is the answer. From Polaris Bank, vote is the answer. Vote is the way.
Take control. Download Volt by Polaris Bank. That's VULTE. Visit the Google Play Store or Apple Store now. Volt is available to Polaris and non-Polaris Bank customers. Volt by Polaris Bank.
You think that's crazy? Crazy is having a job and a boss like mine.
Try practicing a dance routine and tell me what's more challenging.
Challenge. Being a single mother no be beans, my dear. That's why anytime I need that energy, Amber energy drink day for me.
Stimulate the energy in you.
For updates on COVID-19 pandemic, Adesua is here with us. Adesua, great to have you. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Rufai, and good morning, children.
Morning.
Good to be here again. Well, let's look at those figures. Good morning. We are missing Dr. Abati this morning. The work calls in Osun State ahead of the election. Yes. Okay, great. So let's look at the figures very quickly. According to Johns Hopkins University, 551 million infections, 11.7 billion vaccine doses, and at least 6.3 million deaths have been recorded so far. Any moment from now, we should have the weekly breakdown, courtesy of the WHO epidemiological report. Then we'll be able to tell the movement of the pandemic in the last 1 week. Remember that in the previous week, we've been told that at least 110 countries are now seeing an increase, no thanks to the Omicron BA4 and BA5 variants, which are now dominating those infections around the world. Well, here in Nigeria, we also don't have the latest figures because, again, the Nigerian government is reporting those figures 3 times in a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So as soon as we have those figures, we'll bring them to you. However, when it comes to vaccination, over 21% of the targeted population, eligible targeted population in Nigeria have now been fully vaccinated, while 10.7% are partially vaccinated, meaning they've received one of the 2-dose regimen of vaccines available in the country. The NPHCDA says Kano and Nasarawa states account for 32% of the entire booster doses that have been administered so far in Nigeria. It also says Anambra State has improved its fully vaccinated performance from the 31st position to the 29th position in just 7 days. So it's doable. People can roll up their sleeves and get these jabs in their arms. And of course, we increase the number of those who are immune from this virus. And away from Nigeria to Canada, where the country will dispose of 13.6 million doses of the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine because it cannot find any takers for it either at home or abroad. The Canadian government signed a contract with AstraZeneca in 2020 to get 20 million doses of its vaccines, and 2.3 million Canadians were inoculated with it, mostly between March and June 21. Since then, it's been struggling. The country moved to the mRNA vaccines of the Pfizer and Moderna, and so this has been abandoned. They tried to send it out to people, but no one is taking it. So 13.6 million vaccine doses are going to waste in Canada. It's something we are seeing in different parts of the world. To Saudi Arabia, guys, some 1 million people are expected to be in attendance in the holy city of Mecca in the Grand Mosque, particularly for the start of the 5-day ritual. Well, that's a large jump from last year when we saw only 60,000 pilgrims permitted to partake in the ritual. In 2020, during the height of the pandemic's early waves, and before we even got vaccines against this virus, Saudi allowed only 10,000 pilgrims to partake in this Hajj. However, let me tell you that these visuals you're seeing on your screen were sent in by Nigerian pilgrim to me some 5 hours ago. The Ministry of Interior says masking will no longer be needed in closed spaces except in the Grand Mosque. This is the Grand Mosque. And as you can see, guys, you can hardly find anyone with a face mask there. Organizers also say that festivals and events in the city can choose to enforce mask mandates if they like. But that's the situation. Restrictions are being dropped across the globe. It's difficult. I think a lot of people are just COVID fatigued, so you can't find these restrictions in place so much anymore. And finally, let's go to China, where parts of the ancient city of Xi'an, home to 13 million people, has gone into a 7-day lockdown. Officials say businesses, schools, and restaurants were closed for 1 week after the city logged 18 COVID-19 cases since Saturday. They're shutting down the city of 30 million people for 18 COVID cases, but this again is not new with China. It's something we've seen. Meanwhile, residents of parts of Shanghai and Beijing have been ordered to undergo further rounds of COVID-19 tests following discovery of new cases in the two cities. An outbreak in China's largest city is actually linked to a karaoke bar where the officials refuse to enforce measures, and so people will have to undergo testing in those two cities, while in Xi'an, 13.6 million people are under lockdown. Remember that Shanghai has just emerged from a strict lockdown and Shanghai has about 24 million people. So there are fears that, this lockdown and this round of testing will be harsh and affecting not just the livelihoods, but again, the economy. Just something we're just coming out from. And I'm sure Michael Wilson and Rotus would have told you a lot about that. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Adeswa. I mean, China is clearly committed to their zero COVID policy, which we've discussed at length here at Adeswa, including its adverse effects. But I can't help but wonder what could have happened in the world from November 2019 to December 2019 if China had had this kind of approach to Wuhan, the epicenter of this complete cataclysm that befell the world. But no, they were busy trying to silence doctors, if you recall initially, trying to deny that a pandemic was about to break forth from their own shores. If they had done this right off the bat, millions of people around the world would still be alive today. Families that have been devastated by COVID would not have had to experience that. And I just really have that thinking with China that they just completely blew this. But China did let the genie out of the bottle, as it were. They let the virus travel around the whole world. And the rest of us here are not really helping things by refusing to get vaccinated. This story from Canada really is infuriating. The scientists came through, they performed miracles, moved mountains, actually got us vaccines, not just one. We have options such that you can even have your top tier vaccines in some people's minds. I don't agree, like the Moderna vaccine and the Pfizer. And some people think AstraZeneca vaccine is like a second class vaccine. You recall the bad press that AstraZeneca's vaccine got as a result of Brexit, how politics affected the reputation of that vaccine because of Angela Merkel and Emmanuel Macron throwing little tantrums because Britain left the European Union. And that has affected sort of the marketing of the AstraZeneca vaccine. But I also remember Canada, supposedly the nicest country in the world. They have a culture of kindness in their country, but they were most unkind with their hoarding during the initial stages of the vaccine rollout. It was shameful. They were getting called out left, right, and center, the Canadian government, for their greed, frankly. And now look, they now have too many vaccines and now cannot find any takers. And what do the rest of us get? We get different variants. We get scary variants that are continuing to defy the vaccines that should have put this, stops this COVID pandemic in its tracks. So it just goes back to the same point. Everybody should please just get vaccinated. As for the pictures from Hajj, I noticed that I did. So I was playing Spot the Mosque, and there was hardly a mosque in that mosque. I wonder what that's about, because up until now, the Saudi authorities have actually handled the COVID pandemic perfectly because they did shut down when they were supposed to shut down. They didn't play politics with the lives of people. They didn't play the religious card, unlike what we saw in India with the fiasco that was the super spreader Kumbh Mela event. And we know what happened there because Modi wanted to get a few votes. People had to die for that. So I hope the Saudi authorities maintain that level that they started because they were congratulated across the world. We don't want to hear of any super spreader events coming from Hajj.
I mean, Adesua, but are you surprised?
Be more correct, Tundu.
Adesua, but are you surprised that Canada decided to ban 3.6 million vials of vaccine? Are you surprised? I mean, if for anything, COVID has shown us that some have food, some can eat but have no food, and some have no food at all. And that's the way the world works. The rich nations and the poor nations. The rich nations that care about their people and the poor nations that don't care about their people, that steal from their people. It's absurd, it's painful that Canada had to waste these vaccines. But the truth is, what have we done concerning our healthcare sector? What have we done? What have we done to improve our healthcare sector? Did COVID even teach us any lesson? No, we didn't learn. I'm sure if you take an analysis, the Nigerian healthcare sector has gone back probably to pre-COVID levels. How many ventilators do we have across the country today? Okay, maybe a couple of ventilators have increased. But is it holistic enough? Have we changed things? Have we made more investments? No. But the rich nations, because they've made investment over the years and they keep making investments, they have more than enough to eat. So I think it comes back to our leaders. So it's a great thing. Yeah, we can feel sad about it, but it comes back to our leaders. What have they done to the Nigerian people? And how can we improve these sectors? Because yesterday at this one, we're talking about Ghana. Ghana's national debt has increased so much that each Ghanaian will pay 18,000 cedis if they have to share the debt amongst them. But guess what? Across the pond, there's a country called Norway. That same country had oil just like Nigeria. And the Norwegians invested in a sovereign wealth fund for Norway. And if they are to share the 1.5 trillion sovereign wealth fund, each Norwegian will get $250,000. So that's to show you that the reason why we are asking for COVID-19 vaccine, the reason why we've not done a lot for our continent and ourselves is because we've got poor leadership that doesn't even think of the people. So the Western nations will always remind you that, hey, I'm rich and better than you. The question is, with the resource Africa has got, when are we going to change the paradigm? When are we going to turn things around? And it cuts across every sphere of life. Now it's COVID, they'll show you in other regards. It is sad, we feel pained. But the question is, even with the vaccines we got here in Nigeria, have we been able to vaccinate people effectively? No. What have we done? Are some of those vaccines not expiring? Didn't we see how Lagos has now gotten to number 6 position in the vaccination list? And Lagos is the epicenter of COVID-19 in Nigeria. Haven't we seen what has been done? Nothing. Have they pushed the vaccine so much that it gets into the arms of the people? Have they incentivized the people to get the vaccine? No. So even with all the donations, we have an abundance of vaccines. Out of a population of over 200 million. Yes. Correct me if I'm wrong. Has 30 million Nigerians have gotten the COVID-19 jab, first and second dose? No.
No.
So let's keep deceiving ourselves. And let's keep crying, oh yeah, Canada has banned vaccines. We should start looking inwards. There's a lot we can do for ourselves. And we've been blessed with all the prerequisite resource necessary for us to grow. That's just it. Thank you so much, Adesola, for your time. From COVID-19 update, thank you so much and have a great day. We go for global business update. Michael Wilson joins us now from London. Michael, great to have you. Good morning.
Hello, good morning. Yes, recession fears hanging over everybody globally, and of course the resignations of 2 very senior cabinet ministers in the UK, once again pointing towards whether Boris Johnson can survive this or not. That's the real question. Is it fatal or not? Now, as you've been hearing, Greater China stock markets led losses of over those COVID concerns resurging. Asia Pacific relatively low. I'll come on to oil right at the end of the report. Hong Kong Hang Seng slipping about 1.3. Big banks and techs falling there. Mainland China declined, as I said. Shanghai Composite down about 1.3%. And those new rounds of COVID testing and COVID lockdowns in Shanghai have actually increased fears of further lockdown in China. You've just been hearing about that, and we'd be wondering about the ripple effects that would have on other markets. Let's turn our attention to the United States. Back from the Independence Day holiday yesterday, a big comeback, really. Although, I mean, it is very difficult to understand what's going on, particularly just from looking at the markets, because there've got to be recession fears in the United States. But the idea of lower interest rates somehow boosting technology stocks, now that's not going to last either, is it? Clearly, as the Fed is going to be fairly aggressive. But that's really what it was about yesterday. The markets dropped 4 of the past 5 weeks. S&P is more than 20% below its record high, and economists are now independently believing that the US economy shrank for both quarters to start the year, and by anybody's terms that means a recession. At least technically it means a recession. Probably people in the street would actually disagree with that and say we've been going through these problems for a long time. Here's a note from Nomura: many of the world's leading economies will fall into a recession in the next 12 months. The only policy that central banks have is tightening monetary policy right now, and again, you know, they are going to have to act aggressively, says Nomura, because it's too precious an asset to lose that policy. So we're talking about, they expect recessions in the Euro area, UK, Japan, South Korea, Australia and Canada, as well as the United States next year. The EU, the euro has slid to a 20-year low against the dollar as recession fears are building there. The euro fell to its lowest level for 2 decades on Tuesday as fears of a recession in the Eurozone ramp up. Gas prices soaring. Euro shed about 1.5%. Remember, Eurozone inflation up 8.6% in June. And that prompted the European Central Bank to increase its view that there will be an interest rate rise in July. There's been a Norwegian oil strike. The government have stepped in there. Do we think it's the end of that? Well, the markets don't think it is. It's likely to be a temporary respite above anything else. So to the UK then. So the Chancellor and the Health Secretary have both resigned. That happened last night in protest against the Prime Minister Boris Johnson. Is his leadership finally on the brink? Lots of people think it will be. The British Chancellor of the Exchequer, Rishi Sunak, resigned last night, saying the government should be run properly, competently and seriously. And most importantly, he felt that his approach to the economy was fundamentally too different to that of Boris Johnson. This is all predicated on the fact that they were, had he stayed in office, planning a joint speech on the economy next week, and they couldn't agree its contents. Health Secretary Sajid Javid also went. He was also the previous finance minister as well. And later on Tuesday evening, Johnson named Nadim Zahawi, former education secretary, as the new chancellor. He's just before we came on air, he was just giving one of his first interviews, and he's saying that he was very evasive about any plans that he'd got. He said his major task was to rebuild the economy. Everybody in the country wants to know whether this means tax cuts in the near future. He refused to be drawn on that. What about this big economic statement next week? They do need to say something fairly quickly. Sterling down to 119 against the dollar. That's where it was before all this. It hasn't moved a great deal. The highest inflation rate in the G7 and all the rest of it. Now, if if you add to that, the Deputy Governor of the Bank of England, speaking before all this political turmoil yesterday, was saying that growth, as far as he's concerned, will be flat in 2023 in the UK, and that the bank will do whatever is necessary, as they put it, to keep inflation down. He thinks that households could withstand an interest rate of 5% and above. I don't know whether that gives any direction to where the Bank of England thinks it's going. We're looking at maybe 3% by the end of the year, but he feels that with the kind of help that the economy was getting during the pandemic, and also caps on mortgages, in other words, long-term fixed-rate mortgages, the households will be able to survive. So it looks going to be fairly difficult year next year. As far as travel's concerned, you don't need me to tell you that as far as this country is concerned, there's going to be travel chaos over the summer. British Airways have now cancelled more than 12,500 flights. There's also going to be a fuelling strike between the 21st and the 24th of July. To the supermarkets, and there have been security security tickets on packs of Lurpak butter, which are getting over about £9 for a kilo. 3/4 of a kilo is now £7.25. A lot of people were saying that was too much, and shoppers were wondering where to go to get their butter, because obviously it's a staple here. The Lurpak are saying it's to protect the farmers who are facing huge increases in the cost of fertilizer and so on. I told you that the country's largest supermarket, Tesco, was taking on Heinz and its baked beans and all the rest of it. Now it's turned its attention to Mars Pet Care over the price of cat food. And shareholders, although there are shareholders in the company, I think Mars will probably win on this because they are actually probably quite big, and the margins that pet food, this kind of operating margin, about 15%, Tesco on about 9%, if that. So I think that obviously you were asking me who I thought would win against Heinz. I suspect Tesco will probably prevail against Mars. Very, very different matter, I would imagine. And finally, oil tumbling round about 10%. It got down to below $100 a barrel yesterday on the recession concerns I've just been talking about. I won't necessarily go through the prices with you because they change by the minute. But perhaps just as important, copper and gold, both big commodities, they also slumped overnight. Copper particularly, known as Dr. Copper in the business, because it does tend to give a pretty good indication of what's happening in the rest of the world. And as far as industrial output is concerned, and predicted industrial output is concerned as well, the copper and gold both falling overnight. Gold down to 1780 an ounce, and palladium down to palladium is 1909 this morning. It was trading at $3,400 an ounce earlier in the year. That's the global view. Politics, recession, a terrible witch's brew of not very good things this morning, I'm afraid.
A witch's brew indeed. I know you don't like to be drawn into politics, so I'll wait to discuss this with Mr. Fenny and also catch the blockbuster PMQs later on today. But I want your take on this newspaper headline that I'm seeing. Boris fights on, declaring, "I'm now free to cut taxes." The implication there, of course, is that he was somehow being prevented from cutting taxes by Rishi Sunak. So what's your take on that blame game there, and also Zawahi's agenda?
Okay, so I've just been listening to Zahawi being interviewed, and his main agenda is called rebuilding the economy. He's been refusing to be drawn about tax cuts and so on, and he kept stressing hasn't even finished his first day in office, but he's promised to be open and transparent. So that clearly is a swipe at the Prime Minister, who still manages to hang on. There is a strong history in this country of conflict between number 10, the Prime Minister's place in Downing Street, and number 11, the Chancellor Exchequer, the Finance Minister's official home in Downing Street. It's been going on for years. Lawson, Howe, Gordon Brown versus Tony Blair. These fights have been going on for years. I suspect you've got the politicians saying, well, you've got to deliver tax cuts, and the Chancellor, who's in charge of the purse string, saying, well, actually, do you know what? We can't afford it because there's lots of other things going on. So he was extremely cautious. There's no real light on what what he's planning to do. He is a successful businessman. He has only been in this sort of level of politics for about a year. Those who are on the side of the Prime Minister and on the side of the Conservative Party are saying high time that, there was a reshuffle, and that, this is clearing the decks for the big things ahead. It's very, very difficult to say. The amount of why doesn't he just go comment this morning is absolutely huge, as you can imagine, and as you've just quoted there. But clearly there was a rift between number 11 and number 10. No big change there. The more cautious was the finance minister. The less cautious the politician in the Prime Minister demanding tax cuts. Again, anything could happen. I think he's relatively right to keep his cards, the new Chancellor Tahawi, relatively close, keeping his cards relatively close to his chest, because what else is he going to say?
You'll also recall Sajid Javid as well. He also had to resign from Boris Johnson's cabinet as Chancellor. He was reappointed and now he's gone again.
No, he's actually quite. I mean, again, a lot of people are saying it's easy to walk and it's very, very difficult to stay. It's the normal kind of things, as you quite rightly said right at the beginning of all this, that the blame game will continue. But personally, I would much rather hear and discover some specifics about how this new finance minister, this new Chancellor, Nadhim Zahawi, is going to put things right as far as the economy is concerned. I think that's what we're all waiting for.
All right. And a lot of people are already saying no great departure from the plans of Rishi Sunak. And some are saying, on the contrary, that Rishi left because of his own scandal with his wife and the status, of taxation and the likes. That's the main reason why Rishi left. He just used this as an advantage and an opportunity to be able to live. That's what a lot of people are arguing, that he had his own problems. But I also talk about inflation this morning by saying it proves us right that inflation, it proves us right that a recession had already occurred. Because when you look at the fact that inflation could not be stemmed, and a shrinkage of incomes of people, and a shrinkage of the economy in general, it shows that those putting out the figures had been lying to us. They've just been pushing the evil days. And I put it to you this morning, Michael, that inflation is on full throttle, even in the UK, and damn the economic numbers coming out this morning.
Oh yeah, but I think all this is doing. You're right, but all this is doing is underlining what a dreadful thing inflation actually is. There are some economies like Japan, for example, that were preferring that to deflation, and they haven't really achieved that. But here, because we're such a small economy, because the labour market is so tight, the wages spiral, all the rest of it, all these things are conspiring against the economy. I would honestly prefer if I would hope the Bank of England the Deputy Governor of the Bank of England is correct when he's saying things will be flat in 2023, because anything like that, given what we've been through, let's just think about what we've actually been through. The whole world has been through a pandemic. China is still going through. China is still maintaining this zero COVID policy that they have. It doesn't matter what they think happens to the economy. You and I both said at the time, did we not, that really what politicians need to do is focus absolutely strongly on the economy, because in the long term, that's what counts.